Rodnicks are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna wreck compute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real. Electric bills biting like a thief who steals. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, just AI visions lighting up the space.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello, everybody. Integra guy, I'll have to talk about something tonight. There was something that was on the Flux live stream. We'll talk about that in a minute. But welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate it. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Before I bring in my guest, let's see who is here. We have one of my top 2 favorite names to say. Rogelio Esquire is here. 2694 to be exact. Red Panda Mining is here. Hello, sir. Anthony Victoria. Gosh, it seems like we have like royalty here with those names. K-Shot B Bird. I don't know how to say that, but K-Shot, we'll just shorten it. Integra Guy 041. Let's see. Bleach 500. Crewman's here. Although that shouldn't really be too much of a surprise because surprise. Hang on. He is here.
What up?
How you doing, Crewman?
Thanks for having me today, man.
No problem. No problem at all.
Crazy.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we do that, how's your week been going?
So I've been knee deep in salad, like knee deep in salad, because it's actually profitable, and it took me 20 minutes to set it up. So I like redid all my AI rental rigs. I don't know what you call them anymore, Max. What do we call PCs?
GPU rental. That's what I call them. Because you don't know whether they're rented. Because honestly, they're not being rented by AI. They're being rented by mining.
Well, and mining or like medical records or like ZK proof or whatever. I don't know.
It's still mining. It's still mining and it's still crypto. So that's what it is.
So I went a little crazy, like not crazy. Crazy is the wrong word, but I was like, I think I need one more. So I got another 5090 for whatever you call this. Just one. I'm not going crazy. But so I've been messing around with that all week, and I've spent more time. Oh, hey.
The same one.
We're happy and we're singing and we're you remember Wayne's Brothers?
Yeah, same one. Yeah, I felt like I was like, it was like the kiss of death. I was like, everything's running really well. I do want to add one more. Trying to hit a couple of thresholds as far as income. Like this week, I was on target for hitting $900 for the first time. I mean, up until Wednesday. And the thing is that my 84090 rig typically just runs. It always has a client on it. And that's taking up all 8. And it runs for months. Well, this past week, he decided he was done, unfortunately. So, yeah, that goal came to a screeching halt, unfortunately. But I would like to get to the point where I've got like $1,000 a week. That's kind of where I'd like to get to.
That's like legitimately like that's like Ethereum level money.
Well, for me, like at the peak of Ethereum, I was making about $3,000 a month. So
no,
I know a lot of people are making a lot more than that, but
I did the 1 year. I mean, it doesn't really matter now, but I did 85 grand in 1 year.
Wow.
And I was like, I looked at that and my mouth dropped. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Here, I got a question as long as we're talking about that. How many GPUs did you buy above MSRP? Okay, congrats. I bought 0.
We had the game. I teamed up with a bunch of scalpers and I started my Discord, and it was like the Pirate's Den. We were helping people get GPUs for MSRP, but I had so many connections where they're like, go live now. We had contacts everywhere. You name it, we had contacts, and we helped a lot of people. But I was buying so many GPUs at MSRP. Like, I bought one, a Founders 3080 for $1,200, and then I went and sold it for 16 like 3 days later because I felt bad buying it. But yeah, but we honestly, I feel okay about it because we helped hundreds of people get GPUs. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
there was a Micro Center, like unofficial Micro Center group, and they had like stores, they chats from all of the stores across the country, and the Chicago one had. And actually, it kind of dribbled over into Westmont as well. But there was a group of guys there that were saying, well, we can't get them from Micro Center. And somebody found Jay's computer store or something like that. I can't remember exactly the name of it. JR's is what it was. Up in Wisconsin. It was just over the border, like right on Interstate 90, just over the border. And he was getting them. And all you had to do was order them, and he could get them through a distributor. It just didn't know exactly when.
Yeah. Hey, hold on, Max. By the way, the chat's saying you're echoing.
I wondered. Okay, hold on a second.
Sorry, they're just.
No, I'm glad they said that because. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. There we go. That should fix it. We're good now.
Sorry, I didn't.
If it's still bad, I've got a headphone I can put in, but I think it was just because I had mic and Video Ninja both together. So. All right, he says good. All right. So anyway, but the only thing that was bad about it was, do you remember when like EVGA and a bunch of them switched from any other type of memory and then switched to Hynix?
Oh, with the 3060 Ti's, you mean?
Yeah.
I only
that's
had
what I
one
ended
of
up
those.
getting for the ones that I waited for.
So you know what's funny? So I'm actually. Do you remember EVGA Jacob?
Yeah, of course. Now he works for NVIDIA.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with him now.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, and my goal is to one day, completely off the record, where no one else will ever see it or hear it. Just, I want to hear all the stories from then, because I was talking to him, and everything was off the record, obviously. And right. I was like, "You remember the good old days?" And he's like, "We'll talk one day." Just like, just the story. Like where you like. If you could meet like your favorite sports player or like your favorite celebrity, I would just ask them to hear story. I wouldn't want to hear anything but stories. Just be like,
right. It's like who would you? It's not, and honestly, it's not who you like or who you don't like. It's about, hey, I'd love to go just have dinner with this person and listen and just listen to all the stories. Yeah,
would never like. So as I've gotten to meet people, like when I go to dinners, I just listen. Like I'm a pretty chatty person, but like what these people have to say, it's just like. Just listen. It's really cool.
So I do remember him because religiously I was watching their Friday night or their Friday evening stream every single week. It was great. I can't remember the other guy's name, but what was it?
No, so we had this thing where you could cook the EVGA B stock, right? What you do is you'd preload an item and you could skip all the steps. So like You know how when B stock would go live, you'd have to click button. You'd have like 6 steps. We got it down to 2. So you'd preload with a cart, right? Mm-hmm. And what you do is you click your GPU at it, then you go to another window and you check out, and it cached your checkout still. Mm-hmm. And you just check out the GPU with like a lanyard, right? I have like 30 EVGA lanyards, just like sitting here.
That's hilarious.
And then I have like Zotac t-shirts and all this dumb stuff where you just cook. We cook. Everything was cooked, man. And I had a bot once at the end. Like I didn't even.
No, where most of my GPUs came from was from EVGA, and I had a lot of friends that all joined the queue.
Yeah.
And it had to be at different addresses than they were. But yeah, I basically had 4 different people, me and 3 other people. And so I was able to get 4 of pretty much each GPU that I wanted to get. And what was interesting was that at some point during that process, one of the guys started like this thing about they were gonna have 300 t-shirts, and it said EVG on the front, and on the back it said "I survived the queue."
I got wear mine.
Yeah, I do too. I've got it too.
Yeah,
I love that t-shirt.
Well, I'm gonna so so you have to for CES I'll see him for like a second. I'm gonna wear it next time I see him.
Yeah, that was those were good times. Those were really good times. It was challenging, but at the same time, it was just, it was great feeling of just basically spinning something up. So
My biggest regret was not doing YouTube back then, because I didn't do it till the crash. But I was afraid, between me and you, I was literally afraid I'd get doxxed. And I had I had at the time, I think like 75 or 80 30 series cards. And I was like afraid. I don't have kids. I was afraid. I didn't want to get doxxed because those things were worth more than gold at the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So like I was like, well, when everything was worth nothing, I was like, all right, well, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I wish I would have went live then, because I had videos made, like I was teaching people how to get GPUs, and like I would have gotten millions of views, right? Like we had it down to where the manager of Micro Center, we'd help him with the line. So he would tell us what was coming, and he'd be like, you can release this list today, don't release it today, but we would be allowed to go. And the deal was we could go, but we couldn't tell anybody the list. There was like 3 of us, right?
Right.
So I remember the one time I was in line and everyone was like, oh man, I hope there's GPUs. And there were like 70 that day, right?
Oh, wow.
And so I knew I was getting what I wanted.
Mhm.
But because like I would go at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. for like I think it was like a 9 a.m. open.
Nobody figured it out. Like, hey, if you see this dude, there's GPUs. Nobody
knew who I was. Someone.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean, you kind of correlate who you see when there's GPUs.
No. But listen, like I was like Panda, like I was blind. Like people knew me in my Discord, right? Then nobody knew my face because I was I had gritty for the Flyers. Anyway, someone went around the line and was like, I heard Crootman's here. Does anyone know who that is? I was like, I don't know who that is. It was awesome. Like 3 people went in the line and they're like, is he here? Because when he's here, like you said, GPUs are here.
Right.
And I was like, wait, there's a guy who knows GPUs? So I followed him and I was like, do you know who Crootman is? Like, like John Mayer, like at his own concert. So I went with this guy and I'm like, who is this guy?
That's funny. Can you imagine that guy seeing you after you finally showed your face? You're like, that son of a bitch.
Dude, I didn't show my face for like over a year later. Anyway, so but anyway, the point is I was 1 away from a white Strix 3080. And that would have been a good payday.
White Strix hash the same way as a black Strix.
Oh, dude, I literally look at my PC. Oh wait, hold on. Did it? No, I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it was a white.
All right, it's a black GPU. I can't get a white Founders Edition to save or I can't get a white 5090 to save my life.
It's funny. I had a Strix. Basically, I'm trying. What the hell was his name? Jeez, the guy who originally was with Aeon. Oh my God, can't think of his name. Somebody will remember it in chat. Anyway, he was like, he needed a Strix card, and I had a 3060 Ti Strix. He's like, that'll do for now. It's a theme build. I need a Strix card. He's like, what do you want? I said, I'll trade a 3060 Ti for a 3070. And he's like, done.
I did that. I
ended up getting a 3070 for that.
It's funny actually. On the tech side, I had asked my Asus contact. I'm like, hey, I haven't seen any Strix models this generation. He's like, they're there. You have to look, but they're there because Strix isn't the top end of the lineup anymore.
So no, I know it's the Astral is.
Yeah,
but there is a Strix.
Yeah. So there's so the Strix is the top for the 5070, 5060 Ti. Oh,
okay.
I think the Ti is the top. The Strix is the top 2. But for the 80 and the 90, it's only Astral.
Yeah, I did buy one Astral because it was open box. So I got a deal on it. Yeah.
Man, I want an Astral, but I don't want to spend the money.
I mean, it still was slightly over $3,000. It was when, 5090s were making bank.
Dude, I paid $2,600. I can't even. So you're gonna laugh. I can't even tell you how I got my 5090. Like people will get in trouble. So I can't even tell you how I got it.
Oh well, you kind of told me.
And so I paid $2,600 for it. Or I paid.
You paid retail at the time.
No, well, yeah, $2,600.
Yeah.
And like looking at my $2,000 Founders, I'm like, God damn it. So
yeah, I haven't been able to get a Founders yet. I really want a Founders for this build I'm building.
How many pings did I send you?
I know. So just for the record, I told Croupman this, and there were Founders Edition
2
cards.
days later.
Yeah, like literally shortly after we had talked about it, and I was like super busy that day, and there was no way I was gonna have a chance to check my phone, and it was like 2 hours later. He's like, "Dude,
I pinged him.
tried."
I said, I go at. He's like, what the? Oh shit. He was. I can tell you were pissed, and you were like, wait. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like he was pissed at me.
I was pissed because I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, oh, damn.
Dude,
I missed it.
We were up for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
45.
And the alert I have through, the Discord group, that also had it. So, I mean, I got that alert.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah. So anyway, that kind of sucked, but hopefully there'll be a few more times where they'll come out, because I really want it for the first slot. Actually, I would like it for the first and the second slot, because then I can put whatever I want in the third slot.
You find me a white 5090. I will trade you this thing so fast.
Okay. All right.
You find me a white 5090. I will trade you for my Founders.
Done. Don't you have Micro Center near you, or you don't?
I don't want to pay the white tax. I'm being honest with you.
True.
I know you need I know for you the money doesn't matter, it's the size. So if I can help you get a Founders, because between me and you, I really don't think we're gonna see another drop like that. I think that was it.
Yeah, I kind of wonder.
Because
I think they're gonna be focused on the supers going forward.
So this is not me telling you anything that I know, right? Because what happens is once I find out things, I get NDA'd. So when I stop talking, that means I know something. So when I'm talking, that means you can safely assume that I don't know anything, right?
Right, but you're making a best guess.
So I'm making a best guess based on the last 2 years. And based on the last 2 years, what happens is around now, there's usually a big Founders drop, and everyone's like, "Oh, supply is fixed." But what that means is they're just clearing out stock, and then supply goes away, because then you're going to see in February, well, you're going to see at CES, the next generation
The supers, yeah,
will be announced. And then the Founders production will dry up off a cliff. Like, when was the last time a 4090 Founders dropped? It was like around this time last year.
Yeah.
Or, like right before the supers, I mean. And then
I know what you mean.
You didn't see them the last year of the 40 series.
Right.
Like
exactly.
they were gone. You just never saw them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're seeing now. And I think people are excited, but I think the supply of 5090s is going to fall off a cliff.
And that's honestly, that's fine, because 24 gig is the sweet spot right now for all these jobs. And, having 32 gig doesn't really buy you anything. There's no model that requires 32 versus 24. There may be, like, if you're doing multiple cards possibly, but that's kind of more of a one-off. There's so many people that are just doing like one card rentals. So you remember that you saw that Gamers Nexus thing, the video, the GPU importing crap? Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew about that. I mean, you're a miner. You've known about all that crap for years.
Yeah.
They're doing it with 5090s now. They're taking the 5090s, buying them in bulk. My buddy, who can't name names, has a 5090 supply. Like, he buys 5090s, right? If he can get them for less than 2,400, like anything 2,300 or less, he buys. He has a contact that meets him, pays $2,400 cash for every 5090 he gets, goes right to China. And my buddy, who, if you go to CES, I can introduce you to him. Not in the industry, but he knows somebody who's bulk buying them to mod them into 96 gig. Basically A6000s or whatever they are. So
you mean 50, like the 9,000, like the 6,000? You mean?
Yeah. So 5090s are getting super, super popular again. Well, they've always been popular, but for AI, and I think they're going to disappear eventually.
I mean, they are doing well. They're starting to actually do better than the 4090s.
That's what I heard.
And so I was kind of surprised by that, but I mean, I knew that would eventually make the transition. Blackwell had some changes that needed to be made to a lot of the things that used, the GPUs, the actual software that used the GPUs. And I think people are starting to finally make the transition. So, but yeah, we'll see how all that how all that shakes out.
Well, so from like a AI, like you're the expert and I'm just the guy that knows nothing, that just spun up
I
rigs
know a little bit more than other people in the space, but I wouldn't call myself an expert, but yeah.
So what I'm getting at is 5090s are like on Salad, for example. They want 5090s now.
Correct.
Right? Like that's I and 5090s, like 4090s, are basically a store of wealth at this point. Like it's crazy to say it, but like you still haven't lost money on your 40. Like my 4090 that I bought on launch day, I paid $1,400 for. I can sell it for $2,000 still. Year 3. So
I know I bought all of mine for less than $2,000. So there's still been a good investment at this point.
I'm kicking myself for not buying like 3 or 4 of them. I had a 5090 fund. If I know what I would have known now, I would have bought 3 or 4 when I could get them for $1,300, and I would have just sat on them.
I actually did get a couple of 4090s for $1,300 used from Brandon, actually, way back when.
I remember.
This was over. You remember that? Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
And the only bad thing was, and again, I don't put this on him, was that one of the, believe it or not, one of the actual vapor chambers had a leak, and so it wouldn't cool.
Can you? So
it's like when I took it off, because I'm like, this is not cooling. The actual GPU itself is hot, but the heat sink isn't, so it's not transferring the heat. Well, so I'm like, all right, let me take this off. Let me see if it's a bad, thermal pad job or whatever. No, it was fine. It was absolutely fine. So I actually did that first, put it back in, same thing. Then I took it off, and we really started like taking a picture, like a really, close up picture of the actual, thinking that, well, maybe there's because there's a divot or something. And then I read up on somebody else seeing the same thing. And then actually my wife said, hey, I saw that right there. You see where that is? That looks like that could be an imperfection in the plate. And so maybe that's a hole. And basically I started kind of digging at it and like, oh yeah, that's definitely a hole. It was so thankfully Swamp 7 had water blocked like 4 of his 4090s. So he sold me one of his heat sinks. So it was good.
Dude, honestly, for $1,300, you could give me fucking 4090s without a heat sink. I don't even care. I'd buy them all day, every day. Right? Like,
Lukewarm Miners basically saying, yeah, they cracked the VBIOS on all NVIDIA cards. Well, didn't they make it open source?
No,
they said they were making it open source.
Well, I heard. Remember there was that hack, so maybe they just did it again, and we just haven't heard it. Like,
I don't know, but they enabled the 96 gig on the 4090s, and yeah, that's been for quite a while.
So,
but I always get worried when somebody's like, how good are those installations, and how good are they gonna cool? It's one thing to be able to do it; it's another thing to make sure that they actually last.
They're all blowers, right? Like, I mean, you saw Steve at Gamers Nexus watch a guy do it.
Yeah.
So I mean. So, like, you figure you toss them in a server case, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right?
I suppose that's what they do all day in, day out. That's all they do. So they got to have some practice.
They can't be any worse than those 3080s that we cooked the GDR6 memory to 110 degrees, 24/7, and they didn't break.
You betcha. Hey, it worked.
Yeah. So what I was saying about the 5090, right? Besides the fact that it's a store of wealth, I mean, they seem like they make a decent amount of money on Salad, right? And my thought is, I'm not repping Salad right now, but I mean, they're paying, right? Like my farm's been on a week. I made $70 in a week, right? Well, no, sorry. Yeah, in a week. And the GPUs I'm using are a 3090, a 4090, a 4070 Ti Super, and a 4070 Ti. So like, it's not all any new cards, and it was all hardware that I had, so it cost me nothing except for power.
Exactly, except power. Actually, so have you put a 5090 on it yet?
Today, well, after this, I'm gonna go put it on because so I was actually gonna talk to you about that on the stream. Salad said to me, because we all just full transparency, we all work with Salad in one way or another. Right. They're spending money right now. Anyway,
I'm gonna have a sponsored video here within the next couple of days. They're sponsoring the build video that I'm doing.
yes, same here.
That I just posted today on a short. But yeah, they've already said they would sponsor that.
Yeah.
And so the 5090 is gonna be on Salad. But the nice thing about it is, I'm hoping that I can move my VM from Proxmox. I've already looked up how to do it by transferring the actual drives themselves. I just need to do a little bit while still on the old machine. I gotta hopefully get it to boot just at least for a short period of time so that I can make these few little adjustments, basically saving the configuration files on the drives themselves, and then move the drives over to this rig. And then I'm gonna have another boot drive that will have Proxmox 9 on it, and then I'll pull in those config files so I'll basically have a 3090 on the PCIe 4, the last slot, and then the first slot will be the 5090. So I'll have that 5090 on Salad, the other one on Vast, hopefully, if it still works on that same one. It was a verified one, so I'm really hoping it does work. And then move everything else over. I had a Neoxinode, a wallet. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, and that has taken such a hit. Oh my god, it was bad, and it's gotten so much worse.
We should dedicate later on, because I like this conversation, because we'll get derailed real fast. We should talk later at the end of this about how terrible fucking altcoins are, because we'll get derailed. This is good. This is much better than bitching about how our altcoin portfolios have gone to shit.
Well, I do have a couple of things to talk about with crypto. One is, there was a story this week where a guy lost his XRP, like over $1 million, like $3 million worth of XRP in his Ellipal wallet. And he found out that somehow he had created a hot wallet on his Ellipal app. And you could tell the guy didn't really completely understand crypto. He was a newbie. And so he originally had put it on his phone. And then he's like, okay, well, how do I get it on my iPad? So he took he took the seed phrase, and he entered the seed phrase into the Ellipal. The seed phrase should never see the app. It should never be online. And so he did that. It would have told him, and it did tell him, because he had an orange background, that it was a hot wallet. And so he had a cold wallet on his phone, but on his iPad, he had a hot wallet for the same seed phrase. So somebody got into it because of the hot wallet, took it all.
My seed phrases aren't even at my house. They're at 2 remote locations, and they're on the most valuable piece of paper. Well, not the most valuable piece of paper I own, but close to it, it feels like.
I'm not going to say where mine is, but it is fireproof. I used one of the Ellipal like things where you put in all the seed phrases in that little thing, and so it's stainless steel, so it like will withstand pretty much almost any fire.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. There were people that had steel seed phrases when the fires went across California, and they lost their seed phrases because it was that hot. So they basically didn't have it. It wasn't high enough temperature rated to take that kind of heat.
Do you want to hear something crazy? Too related to that, actually. We're gonna go on so many tangents tonight.
Yes,
that was during CES, right? And
what's his name?
Bitwit. Yeah, he left. He left the convention.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, because, and thank God somebody went and got his cats.
So I knew, that was right when I launched the tech channel, so I didn't really know that many people back then, but I heard some people talking about him like leaving, like when he was doing it, like, when all the cameras were off and shit. And then I had my hotel, they screwed up. My sister lived a block from the fires. I forget which one. Her house was like 2 blocks away. So she got evacuated. It was an apartment, but still, right? Like, she got evacuated. Yeah. So they screwed up, and they gave me 2 weeks of the hotel. And I called her, and I'm like, hey, do you want to come to Vegas? I got this hotel for 2 weeks. Take it. And she's like, no, we're good. We're staying with it was like her really good friend's mom. Cause she lives out there. And I was like, you can have my hotel for another week and a half. Like, take it. It's free. It was a nice hotel. It was, on the strip. And she's like, nah, I'm good. But it was just crazy how like we were seeing that like live right out there.
Yeah, he talked about that. He has some, by the way, if you guys haven't seen his videos.
No, I saw it.
His videos are really to the heart, and he talks through the timeline, and he was like he was like numb. He was like numb. He's like, I think my house is burned down.
I literally heard people like just like, I was in the Asus booth filming B-roll, and I was having a conversation with Paul from Paul's Hardware, and then he like someone came up and talked to him, and I was like, I dipped out because like I met him the first year, but I literally was just like, hey, I like your channel, and I left. So I didn't bother him. But then I was actually like having a conversation with him, and he started to talk to someone else, and I just kept filming B-roll, and I let them go, and they were like saying, oh, Bitwit left, his house burned down. I'm like, what? Yeah, it just sucks. Like you hear all that. But
he's lucky. There were a lot of people in his neighborhood that didn't have insurance. He had insurance, so his house will get rebuilt. He's probably going to rebuild it and sell it. It sounds like it doesn't sound like he wants to move back in.
Dude, you can't like if you're in those places, right? Like, I remember my sister thought her house was gonna burn down, and we were like, she got her cats. We're like, dude, you're gonna be okay. Like, she was freaking out on the family group chat, and we're like, dude, you don't own, you're gonna be okay. Like, I know your whole life is burning down, and that sucks, but like, you're just losing an apartment's worth of shit. You know what I mean? So, because she was literally right there. Like, it was crazy hearing that. And then, of course, I'm talking to my wife privately, and I'm like, and she still wants to live in California. we live in Pennsylvania, and we're like, you're an idiot for living in California. Like,
yeah, it's not really a place I want to go.
Her husband hates it out there. Her husband.
Oh, really?
Her husband's from Detroit. He doesn't want to live there. She drives.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty much not his style. That's for sure.
No, he hates it out there. He was trying to use the fire. He privately told me I can't believe I'm saying this, and this sounds real bad, but he was kind of bummed that they didn't lose their apartment because that was going to be his way to get home. Yeah, right. Like,
I get it.
It's so terrible to say for everybody who lost their house.
Hey, you know what? You can't help how your mind thinks.
Yeah.
You can only control what you actually say, but if you confide in somebody that you trust, which he obviously did. But yeah, I mean, I've told this story. I've told this story before. When 9/11, I remember, everybody remembers where they were if they were alive. Remembers where they were when it happened. And I had been laid off 2 weeks prior when I was watching TV and I saw the second plane go right into the tower. And my reaction was, I'm fucked. That was my reaction. Not thinking about the thousands of people that were going to die as a result. No, I was thinking about myself. Not my proudest moment, but it was genuinely how I felt because I could see what that was going to do. I had already saw planes are going to be shut down for a period of time. I didn't think they were going to be shut down for that long, but I'm pretty sure that the planes were going to be shut down and that the economy was going to take a serious hit and there was going to be no hiring. And so I was like, damn, this sucks. So yeah.
You want to hear something absolutely outrageous, right? So I went to Pitt, right? Like everybody sees my Pitt stuff on all the time. I went to they have a satellite campus, and the plane that hit in Shanksville?
Yeah.
The satellite campus is 20 minutes from there. So I was there in 2006, right? So one of my teachers, it was September 11th, and we were talking about it. Now you got to remember this is 2006. So this is 5 years. So most people are still there, right? Like this is not far off. She was telling us the story, and I was cool. Like I stayed. Like she kept talking about it after class was done. I just stayed. Like I skipped my next class because it was wild. So imagine, right? You live in this podunk. Like this is the town that time forgot in Pennsylvania. So you see the planes hit the Pentagon. You see them hit the Trade Center. Then they hear a plane crash. They hear it. They thought the world was over.
Right.
Because like that one town, she's like, the perspective we had, no one else could say they had it because they thought planes were going down in the entire country. Like, because the stuff they told me, I'll never forget.
So it was pretty interesting. I've seen this before, but that there were two Air Force jets that had gone up without missiles, without anything to take it down.
They were gonna crash.
They were gonna crash into it.
Yeah.
Yes. They were gonna basically sacrifice themselves. Maybe they would have been able to eject, maybe not. Odds are with the full, on board with fuel, they probably would have exploded their planes. But anyway, bottom line is one was gonna take out the tail and one was gonna take out either a wing or something. I forget what the other one was gonna take out. But yeah, they were like, they already had a plan because they knew it was going to either probably the White House is where they were figuring, either that or the Capitol.
So my cousin, I can't say what he did or what, I can't say anymore, but he was on the ground at the Pentagon, where he was on the ground in DC when it happened, and he worked for the government, and he told me some stories that I can't even say, and I was like that was the look on my face, because they thought, you're right, everybody thought it was going to the White House, and just wild shit, man.
Yeah, well, anyway, we are definitely off.
I told you this was going to happen. So, all right, so the 5090, right? So the 5090, it seems like it's on demand in salad, right? And what the salad guys told me, because I'm doing a rig build video like you are, they said the CPU doesn't matter. They said all that matters is how many cores it has. So I was going to do an AM5 build with it, but it makes me think that it's stupid to do an AM5 build because I'll just do a cheap-ass 3900X and undervolted. Right?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what's stupid about me using the Threadripper. To put, but I'm thinking I may only do it with like 4 cores. So, because again, it doesn't really matter.
Well, no, he said the core count matters.
Oh, what did he say the core count should be?
He said there are some jobs that will use higher cores. He said the cores don't matter. Like, he said the core count matters, which is why I was thinking of 3900X.
Okay. Because
they got a lot of cores, right?
They do. I don't know if they really matter if it's over 8 though. But I'm not really sure. But right now, this is what I'm doing with this machine. This machine will eventually change. It will be completely salad at some point, or not salad, completely vast at some point. And I'll adjust some other things to add salad. But for right now, I kind of wanted just to make a point of, hey guys, you only do one GPU, but you can do multiple GPUs on a machine. You just have to do it with Proxmox and doing it via a VM with PCIe pass through.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like you figure, right? I don't want to spend any money, right? Like I bought a 5090, but a 5090 is not going to lose money. It's not like buying an ASIC or buying something else, right? Yeah. And I was going to ask you that I wanted to talk about it. Will that rig AM4 with a 5090, will that work on Vast and the other rental platforms too? Or is the CPU
it does. Vast is a little bit more, I won't say picky, but you are able to ask for more as far as rental goes if you have a good infrastructure. Your internet's really, really fast and you have more cores and a more capable CPU.
What's a fast internet for it? Like, what do you consider a fast
certainly over 1 gig. Or even just over 500 meg up and down.
Oh, so my
500 meg up and down is actually technically that's what it's supposed to be in order to get verified.
So I have a separate internet. During COVID, we rushed and right before everything went to shit, we put another internet in so I could work because I had to have like a static IP and some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, I don't need it anymore, but I still have it. They still pay for it. So I use that for all of my crypto stuff, right? So nothing's on even the same internet as my home internet. Like no miners are even on my home internet. So do you think it's worth investing in better internet for Vast, or does it not matter if Salad's paying what I'm paying now? Like,
so it depends on, again, that's like saying, well, if you had to pay $10,000 to get better internet, no, it's not worth it. If you have to pay an extra $50 a month, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it.
Like, does Vast pay? Because look, Salad, when I made my first video, it dried up, right? Like no bullshit, being honest, right? Because like it was worthless, right? I made the video and then nothing happened, and they claim, and it seems like it's legit because my stuff's been running all week, minus occasional hiccups, which may be my fault somewhat. Anyway, if you're making this much for with those machines, and I know 5090 makes more, is it like, if Salad keeps up, is it worth trying to do more for Vast, or is it just stay on Salad?
So vast, first of all, is the long game. So first, that's why I always said is like, how much are you making with salad per hour? Vast, I'm making minimum of 28 to 29 cents an hour. I don't know if salad is paying out that much. And remember, when I'm talking about vast, that's how much I get, not and actually it's even more than that, because it's 29 cents plus the storage fees and the data transfer fees on top of it. So it's usually always like half a cent to 2.5 cents more because of the extra fees. So vast right now, from everything I've seen, pays better than everybody else.
So I'm at
let me back up a second. There is one that is actually paying, I think maybe paying better. I haven't gone back to it yet. Oh shoot, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. What the heck was it? It's not Octaspace, it's QuickPod. So QuickPod, I actually just saw something. When I left them, they were like, 20% rented, if that, on 5090s. Now they're 90% rented. Okay. So things have turned around. But the thing is if you give them permission to use your machine as a VM instead of just using a Docker container, you make an extra 50%. So you can make more with QuickPod. Now I haven't gone back to it, but Retro Mike's the one that turned me onto that platform, which I really like. That platform, it's just small, it's not well known.
But if it gets paid, if here's the thing, right? If it pays, who cares?
Right. But my point is that what you're going to find is that bigger platforms are going to have more stable demand. I mean, they still have their fluctuations, but percentage wise, they don't fluctuate as much. You have Salad, you have QuickPod, Clore even, I would say, kind of is the second highest. So their stuff doesn't fluctuate quite as much.
Yeah, but you get paid in crypto. I don't want to get paid in fucking crypto.
I mean,
dude, there's no exchanges. So look, if you were like, all right, I know all of you crypto knots are gonna fucking hate me, but I don't care about KYC. I pay my taxes. I do everything above board. I don't give a shit, right? Government gets my money. I got too much to lose. I'm not gonna be
I'm right there with you with that.
My buddy has millions in Bitcoin and refuses to pay taxes on it. He's the biggest idiot I've ever met.
Yeah, not
regardless. Like right now, Salad is paying me 39 cents an hour. Right now, it's only been a week, but I'm making about 39 cents an hour with home grade stuff. Like I don't have a max farm,
Right. So that's with 4 different GPUs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, one GPU, one 5090. Is making
that's
like 29 cents an hour.
So the 4090 is 16 cents for the record.
Yeah. So that's sorry, that's dog crap.
Okay. So you're telling me I should move these off Salad?
With my 4090s, I'm making, and people will complain at what I have it priced at, because I do price them low because I want to make sure they're rented. Sure. And I'm pricing mine at about 24 cents.
So you think that this whole Salad thing is like a blip, and I should probably go?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not saying that. The thing is that, I'll give you an example. So I have a 5090 that last time I checked, and I'm not gonna check now. Last time I checked, it still wasn't verified. It was at 99.32%. Actually, I can just check my phone. I was at 99.32% reliability, and it still wasn't verified. It's been on for, and honestly, Vast has its own issues. Vast, and one of my 5090s actually fell off. No, still unverified. So it's at 99.34%. But one of my 5090s isn't rented. But where was I going with this now? I just lost my train of thought after I looked at that.
Oh my.
But yeah, I mean, generally Vast is, from what I've seen, it pays more than the other platforms. But Salad is great from an ease of use perspective. Vast can be a major pain in the butt. When it runs, it just runs. You don't have to worry about it. But occasionally you'll just have one like fall off. You're like it will say not networked. You're like, it's running. I can SSH into it. I have network. Yeah. What is going on? And then you got to get with their help, and they're like, oh yeah, there's this bug. Yeah, let me do this, and this.
Well, to be fair, There was a salad bug with that same thing today, and it was actually still mining.
Oh,
So,
okay. Oh, you know what? I did hear about that. That was one where like people weren't getting paid for like 6 hours or something, and then
and
they
it
came out with the
updated,
update.
and it was
Yeah.
good. So real quick, right? So with Vast though, I heard that the verified stuff was like, do they like you, or you have a contact? Like I heard it's a little bit like.
I won't lie and say that I didn't. I don't have a contact that I'm in contact with on a regular basis, but I did have somebody that I was in contact with and helped me out on one because of another issue that I had. So it was kind of like, you know, he was trying to help me out because of the problem that was there before. And because it was really frustrating, and I helped them identify a bug and that type of stuff. So there was like, I was helping them out, so they helped me out. So in that particular case, to get one of my rigs verified, it did help to be in contact with them. But all the ones after that, no, they've just gotten verified. Just sometimes it can take, 2-3 months sometimes. And then other times it just happens. It can be really frustrating, especially when you're looking at a 5090 and most of the 5090s are verified, and you're like, what am I, chopped liver?
So what do they pay? What do they pay out in on Vast? What does Vast
Cash.
pay out?
They pay out in Stripe. I pay out on Stripe.
I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean it's great. I mean, I get a deposit, and by the way, QuickPod does the same thing.
do you now? Now, I actually had another question for you while we were on the subject. Can you undervolt your equipment or you just got to run it full bore?
You can. The issue is that it will. They do a benchmark of your hardware. So they have a deperf score that basically says how good is this hardware. So that's the key. So like for instance, I know one of the things that's hurting me is the fact that I have 8 GPUs that are running PCIe 8, and they're only running 3 cores per GPU. So because it's a 24 core processor. It's Epic, but it's only 3 cores. So I know that's hurting my score. So my score on that particular rig is not that great. But if you have a job that doesn't rely on the core much, your CPU cores, and it's mainly the GPU, yeah, and it's not going to saturate a PCIe 4.0 8 lane, 8 lanes. Yeah, you're golden.
So with the 5090, right? Do you need to run it at 5.0 or will 4 be fine? Because nobody PCI 5.0 is like a myth, basically.
I mean, so the thing is, when you had a 4090 and people were like, oh my god, you gotta have 4.0 16 lanes, it's like, you realize that your performance on 8 lanes, and I think Jay's 2 cents may have done a test on this.
Oh, it's nothing. No, my 5090 was on 8 lanes on my gaming PC because I was dumb and I installed too many M.2s and put them in the wrong slot.
Yeah.
Ryzen crap, and it's so bad. I did a video on building it. Somebody's like, "You have too many lanes," and I'm like, "Huh?" And I read the manual, and I'm like,
yeah, but how did it affect your performance? It barely did.
5%. Now, to be fair,
I was gonna say, I thought it was like 2 to 3% on average.
To be fair, 5% when you're on 4K path tracing is it's the difference between 33 FPS and 28 FPS, which matters in that number. But does it really? Not really.
Yeah.
To back up what you're saying.
Yeah. So does it need to be on 5.0? No, it doesn't need to be. It needs to be on 16 lanes. I'll definitely say you don't want to run.
Yeah.
You don't want to run. Now, I'll give you an example though. I have 4 5060 Ti's on PCIe 3, 8 lanes. Because they're only 8 lane cards.
Yeah.
And they're rented all the time.
Yeah.
So 5060 Ti's I like that card a lot. It's just like, I want to have density though. So it's like, am I going to spend, like for instance, with different machines, it's like, okay, well, I need to put a lot of 5060 Ti's on this, and then I'm gonna have to have a mining rig type of thing, and then I got to get
those days are over
and stuff.
No, listen. I told you last week when I was messing around in your chat, I sold everything. I have one rig with 6 GPU, like 6 mining only GPUs, one of each type that I'm keeping to melt content, right? Like that's it. Like they're going to be on when they're filming content. Otherwise I would have sold them, right? So like I am never going back to that. So if I can build a few Ryzen rigs, right, with hardware I have, because like for my tech channel, I have to have all of these model GPUs for videos and content and stuff, right? And I can make money, I'm doing it. And if I buy maybe 2 or 3 5090s because I talk to you too much and I use those instead, maybe I do that. But like they're a store of value. They're not gonna lose money.
Right.
And like managing 2 to 3, like if I were making this, right, like this salad thing, I made $60 in a week, right? It's not gonna get me rich, but it's just costing me power.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. It's well, when anybody started out mining or GPU rental, whenever somebody started out, you didn't start out making $1,000 a month.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I know where that goes, right?
Right.
Like,
No, my point is that for those people that don't, they're like, oh, well, it's not really worth it. It's like, no. It scales. You start out and you build slowly, and then by the time you get to, $500 a week, well, guess what? $500 a week, you can buy another GPU after just a little bit over a month. You have the cash from what you're doing.
But like for us, right? We know. Like I know, I put the infrastructure in. I put 200 amp shed in my backyard. My new YouTube studio is going to have 200 amps of 240. Like my house, I am probably one of 20 people in America that can say I have more 240 volt in my house than 120. Right? Like I do, and it's not even close. Like 75% of my house is 240.
So since we're talking about power, let me transition into another thing. So this week, I got a call from ComEd, my power supplier. So let me back up a second, just for anybody that needs to catch up a little bit. And sorry, we're not paying any attention to the chat.
I'm talking to him. I'm paying attention. I'm
okay, good. But somebody is.
I was actually like, next time you diverge, I was gonna like go back and read some of these back.
Well, let me talk about this. So basically, and I've talked about this. I put in a heat pump so that they lower my transmission rate. That was on target to go, but somewhere along the line, somebody saw this guy's trying to change his rate, and they changed my supply rate back from hourly back to standard, and I was like livid, absolutely livid. And so I had called multiple people, both at the hourly pricing program. So I literally had like 3 tickets open with different departments.
Yeah.
One with each department, and they were all saying the same thing to the billing department. So anyway, so this guy he's a project manager for ComEd's hourly pricing program. And he's like, just wanted to let you know that 20 minutes ago, I put you back on hourly, and it's going to be retroactive from when you got taken off. I'm like, oh, thank you. That has been just weighing on me, because I knew how much more it was going to cost. He's like, yeah. He's like, do you mind if I ask, what? I'm like, no, not at all. He's like, we just want to understand, like, you're one of our best residential customers. We don't see people with this profile that, yes, you have solar, but yet you still use a ton of power. And he's like, and you have community solar. Like, we don't see people with solar and community solar who are still paying for more power than what those two are doing.
Max,
it's just really unusual.
I used more power than half of my town. Like,
oh, I believe it. Yeah.
So I had this company, right? And we were actually green. Like, we took advantage of their unlimited power. Like it's scaled, right? It was like you paid X amount for delivery, because they swap in half. So we milked it where we killed their delivery. Like, the more you use, the cheaper it was, right?
Right.
So it was down to like 7 cents or something stupid. And at the end of the contract, when they finally kicked us all off and they caught wind and they ended the program because of me, hobbyist, and probably like 20 other people.
Yeah.
They were like, it shows you how much tons of coal you've saved. And it was like, I saved 85,000 tons of coal from being burned. And I was like, oof. It's not a good look.
So the cool thing was, it really made me realize, like, I feel like I'm hacking the hell out of ComEd, but they have all these programs. They're the ones who are putting these in place.
Yeah.
So, like I said, solar, community solar, hourly pricing, and heat pump. Those 4 programs save me so much. I'm hoping I can get it by the time I get all that in place, that I'm going to save, and it'll be down to 10 cents lower than 10 cents a kilo, like 9 cents a kilowatt hour.
I'm so burned. Like, listening to you just makes me sad. I went from 9 cents to 18 cents in 6 months.
I know.
Like, my farm dead. Like, now what I'm doing, like, I'm monitoring how much power I'm using, and I'm going to try to undervolt the salad rigs to save some power. I'm literally just taking everything I make from salad and paying my power bill. Because my power bill's like, so my power bill's still like $3.90 a month, because I got a so my shed is not finished yet, right? And it has all my parts in it. So I still have to keep miners running. So I've got a DG Home 1 and an Avalon running, right? So like I'm stacking Doge and stacking, right? Look at my air quotes. Stacking Doge and BTC using the heat because I need it. But like the idea is I'm literally just going to take all my AI rental money and put it towards my power bill. So like,
no, I mean, obviously I'm doing some of that, but basically I've right now, my power costs about 25% of what I'm bringing in. So everything I bring in, 75% is profit above the cost of electricity. And I'm trying to get that down to 20%. So here's the thing, but there's more programs coming. That's what's amazing. So there's 2 programs that I'm looking into. One of them there isn't any information out. He was just telling me about that. This is going to be introduced in January. There is a program where there is going to be time of use on the transmission side. They already have time of use on the supply side.
Wow.
They're going to introduce time of use on the transmission side. And he's like, but you have to meet a requirement. One of the requirements is you have to be on solar, not community solar. You have to have solar in order to do it. So there's that. Then the other thing was, he introduced me to, they have an incredible incentive for batteries.
I was going to ask you, why aren't you doing batteries?
Well, because it costs a shit ton. I'm trying to figure out, and I didn't have a chance to do it this week. I got to do it next week. I got to try to figure out if I could get somebody to install batteries by the end of the year, so I can still get the tax break.
But what about, without saying too much, because I'm not sure what we can say, what about our source with our battery guy? Can you take advantage of that? And save
the problem is because in order for me to take advantage of all these programs, and it's still cheaper for me to go that way. So anyway, let me introduce what the incentive program is. It's $300 per kilowatt hour of storage.
Okay.
Per 1,000 kilowatts of storage. Per kilowatt? No, per kilowatt. Sorry, per kilowatt.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then another $300 for the amount that it can actually transmit. So let's say you got 4 batteries, but you got each one of them can or say you just even got 2 batteries. So you basically got a battery that's like 14,000 watts of storage, and it can transmit out like 10,000 at once. So basically 14,000 watts, 14 kilowatts. You basically take that times 2, because you're going to do 2 batteries. You have 28 kilowatts of storage, times that times 300. So bottom line is, the average price that I was looking up was that it's about $1,300 a kilowatt installed. Okay. So if you have $300 per kilowatt, you're already bringing it down to $1,000. $300 for how much it is able to actually transmit, actually produce at once. That's about 2/3 of that. So let's just say that's another 200. So 500 out of that 1,300. Now, then you take 30% off of that, which is 260, 390, about 400, another 400. You have 900. You're only paying at that point about $400 per kilowatt.
So what's stopping you from getting batteries? I didn't know all this.
I didn't know all this before. So seriously.
But like knowing what you know now and knowing the source that we have, can you take advantage of that?
No, because if I think I know what you're talking about, that source isn't going to be. You have to be, in order to take advantage of these programs, you have to actually have not a certified, but somebody who's registered with ComEd. You have to use one of their installers that they have registered.
Yeah. So why don't you get them from the source.
Because they're gonna say we need. Well, I mean, I'm going to broach that subject,
Like,
but
why do you at least
that
try,
particular
I'm saying?
company and their products, all of these are either Franklin or Tesla. Those are all the companies that are aligned with this. That's all I've been able to find. I have not found anybody installing anything different. So yeah, trust me, it would be great, but that
Save you a lot of
particular
money,
vendor
too.
that you're talking about, along with their supplier, is not going to be less than 50% of what I would pay to Franklin, and I wouldn't be able to get. The only thing I'd be able to get is that 30%. I would not be able to get that 500.
Yeah, like a
per
lot of
kilowatt.
the people in the chat are talking about their amazing power rates, and I hate them all. Like I just hate them all. But one thing for back to the AI stuff, Chuck Danger said you can gently undervolt without any issues on Vast. He said he kind of just like he said it's trial and error where you kind of like poke the bear and
Yeah,
see where they
I mean,
tell you. They're like,
the
no,
thing is
no.
so again, they run a benchmark. So yes, you can undervolt if it does. I mean, 5090. You know, you can run those at 525 watts, and it's like 97%. I mean, so yes, you can actually basically power limit your cards, and nobody's going to ever know the difference because it's so close. Now, when they benchmark your machine, you are going to score slightly below. Does it really matter at the end of the day? It shouldn't.
Like I'm like after we get off right now, I'm gonna do a video not sponsored by Salad, not this one, with another sponsor, where I'm gonna talk about undervolting all of my salad rigs. Like I'm gonna undervolt all of them and see what happens. And I don't think they're gonna know. Right? Like I think I'm gonna be
They're
able
not.
to-
And the other thing, remember, you had said that the CPU, and it's true, the CPU doesn't necessarily matter that much.
So I'm gonna
It's more
undervolt
about the
all
number
of
of
them.
cores.
So I'm gonna undervolt them all to one. What is it? 1 volt for a 3900X, right?
That was for mining, yeah.
Well, whatever Rabbit did, I'm gonna try and see how it goes.
Yeah, just make sure it stays stable. That's going to be key.
No, I mean they were stable for Ward. Why wouldn't they be stable for this? You know more than me, so I'm kind of asking.
I don't
you.
know. I never really was into CPU mining, so I think I did that undervolting once.
I mean, you just use so like on Windows, you just use Ryzen Master. It takes 2 seconds.
Right? No, I know. Yeah.
So like, can you run Vast on? Can you run Vast on?
Do not say Windows.
Yeah, Windows.
No.
Yeah. Why not?
Why would you want to? Why would you do that to yourself?
Dude, my server's on. Look, say what you want, and a lot of other people in tech media give me shit, right? But like, dude, I have a Windows server. It works. I don't even care. It does what I need it to do.
Okay, fine. Windows Server.
I'm gonna move to Linux. The server's gonna move to Linux eventually.
Okay, but Windows Server is different than running a Windows Salad machine because you always have things that will happen. Just, it decided to reboot. I don't care.
Yeah.
You have all the updates shut off. You have everything shut off. It does not matter. It will reboot at the drop of a hat once every, 2 to 3 weeks. It just does. And it's frustrating as hell. You had a job, it was running great, and all of a sudden you're like, what the? So that's why I do not. I mean, that's the bad thing. And I have bugged Salad. Like, when are you going to be on Linux? When are you going to be on Linux? When are you going to be on Linux?
Okay, but like here's the thing, right? Like if you want stuff like this to appeal where you can fully rent your stuff out, you gotta advertise to mainstream people, right?
No, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have Windows. What I'm saying is that if they really want to get dedicated rigs from people that are going to produce really good machines to be rented out, you need to have Linux.
No, I get it.
But what's cool is, so I don't know if I'm being a little leaker here, but I did talk to our contact, and he did say that they have a working model. Basically, I just basically said, "You looking for a beta tester? Let me know. I'll
Yeah, why not?
I'll roll it out and see how it works."
But like, here's the thing, right? I know how to use Linux. It's not that I don't want to use Linux, right? I don't like. I'm literally. So I have a build with Asus coming up, and I'm gonna only game with that thing on Linux. Like I'm going all Linux with that build, right?
There's been about 100 people that have done that video, right?
Yeah, there's 100. Look, but here's the thing, Max. Here's the thing. As far as content creation goes, there's 100 people that have done every video.
No, I know.
You are
I'm
not
kidding.
original in anything. So like,
I'm absolutely.
flair.
Yeah, no. I totally get it. And every single one of those videos did well. So no, you absolutely should do that video. But I was just like, I was just giving you shit.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like, can I use Vast on Windows? Like I have these on Windows. Like I'm trying to use as little time. You're saying I have to have a Linux?
Yes.
For Vast?
Yes. Has to be Linux. They do not have a Windows option.
So
Octaspace, as far as I know, is the only one that does Linux and Windows.
Well, how much storage do you need for Vast?
That really depends. Minimum of 500 gig, preferably at least 1 terabyte per GPU.
So all right, so like if I basically just go get 4 terabyte drives, right? Like Gen 3 terabyte drives and toss them in, I could just dual boot and I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Because what do you just use, like Ubuntu? Like that's the only Linux I know how to use is Ubuntu.
Yeah, it's Ubuntu 22.04. The latest one, and yeah, I mean that's there's a Vast tools that I use that install technique, and it works.
So
it just works.
Swamp 7 says I have to have a fully natted IP address. I don't know what that means.
Okay, so I think what he's saying is that you can't be on like a T-Mobile or something like that. You have to have a solid, like your IP address doesn't change every other day.
So like static IP, huh?
If you have static IP, then you're good.
No, I actually like so this is my old business internet, and like I literally have them as like not connect. It's like North Korea and South Korea. They're not integrated in any way, shape, or form, right? So like, if I have it's 100 up, 100 down. Is that a problem?
Is it a problem? No,
because it's a business
Make
account.
it you less likely to get rented when you have slower internet than somebody else? Yeah, I mean it's all part of the comparison. What'd you drop?
I have a fidget spinner I'm fucking with, and it's like a fully metal one, and I always like I just fiddle like when I'm streaming or like streaming for long periods of time. I have to fiddle or I lose my fucking mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dude. This is why being a content creator is so good for me, because I can work on like 8 projects at once, and that's my real job too. Is like it's just chaos, and like I just fucking thrive in goddamn chaos.
Nice.
So,
I mean, yeah. So, 100 up, 100 down. There are people that do have it, but like I said, it's not ideal.
Does a static IP help with it? Because it's a business account. So if I was to go to a gig, it'd be like
no. I mean,
the cost of a regular one.
You know, I think what he's referring to in Swamp 7, you can, well, he's asking you a whole bunch of questions like, what firewall do you have? Like, what do you have for a router?
It's for that one. It's just for that one. I mean, I can tell you because none of my personal shit's on that. So, it's just a Verizon router. Like
yeah,
I use
so typically with these, you're gonna want to get a better router because port forwarding sucks on those on like anything that's ISP. It can do it, but it can't. Trust me, I've tried.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't. I have Fios Home and Fios Business in my house, and my home one is nothing like the business one.
No, I know, but even if it's the business one, I mean, I suppose maybe Swamp 7 might be familiar with it, but typically you still want to put that thing in bridge mode, and you want to have your own good router. I mean, even Ubiquiti, they've got some lower end routers that would be probably just fine.
Yeah.
For what you're doing.
But like, but like, okay, so like maybe I don't want to spend a lot of money on this, right? Like I don't like I have this, it works. This is what I'm making. Like frankly, if we're being straight up honest, right? Like if a month of salad based on how much power I use, like I'll do all the math. If I'm profitable, I'm probably just gonna stay on this. I don't have to do anything. Like
right.
I literally want passive income back. Like I have my YouTube, I have 2 YouTube channels, my real job, kids. I don't want to fuck with this. Like if I'm gonna make a little bit less money, so be it. Right.
And I get it. That's why a lot of people are like, salad's just so easy. I'm just gonna do it. I'm making money with it. It's good enough for me.
But like if it works, but if you're telling me that what I have now will also work on Clore and Okta, and if it just doesn't work on Vast, then so be it, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think Clore might have a Windows install too. I wasn't sure about that one though.
Well, you could use Hive. I mean, you could just use, like, I don't care about the install. Like Linux, if I have to go to Linux, I don't care. I'm more talking like the internet speed. Like,
Yeah,
more
the internet
talking-
speed. I mean, like I said, in any of these, the people are going to want to rent from somebody that has more speed. I mean, that's just so you might have to rent for less. It's not that you can't get rented. It's just it has to get taken into account.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like because you can't have. So here's the funny thing: you can't have 2 FiOS home accounts at the same house. Otherwise, I'd do it.
Right.
So like that, because we were fighting with them. They're like, "Why do you want a second internet?" I'm like, "Why do you ask questions when I'm trying to give you money? Like, I don't have to tell you why. Like, give me my internet. You know what I mean?" But I guess I could. You're gonna laugh, but I guess I could go Comcast. Like, I have everything here. Like, I could go Comcast and FiOS, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, first of all, so if you have FiOS, you can upgrade the speed very easily, right?
So I'm actually at a gig, right? I'm at 1 gig, and I pay $80. And because I don't use any of their equipment, I just a flat $80 fee. It was originally 70, and I've had it for 9 years now. They upped it to 80. I didn't care. So I can get 2 gigs for $90, right? But for my home internet, what the hell does it matter 1 gig to 2 gigs? Like on my computer right now, I'm at like 850 up, 850 down.
Right.
Like, what more, like, does that really matter? And like, I have a lot of devices in my house, so having a gig is important. But if I go from this to like 1.5, 1.6, does it really matter? For non-AI,
when you have multiple machines, it does matter. I'll tell you right now, with Salad, it will easily saturate your. I have 2 gig down. It saturated my 2 gig. Each one of them was taking up over 500 meg.
No.
This is when I'm at like 5 machines, and they were all saturating the hell out of it.
No. I'm saying in terms of home usage.
Oh yeah, for home usage, yeah, you wouldn't, because you're probably never even going to interact with a server that can probably even download faster than a gig anyway. Yeah,
but like, that's what I'm saying. So like, why spend? Even though $15 a month for double your service is technically better,
right?
Like,
but what about the business side of things?
So to go to a gig was like $700 or something crazy.
What,
dude? FiOS business. Now that was during COVID, right? So things change. Like, I pay for 100 up, 100 down. My business pays for it. I don't pay for it. 100 up, 100 down costs me $100 a month.
So if I was you, I would move your residential FiOS to your shed and bring Comcast into the house.
So the shed is wired with both internets, theoretically. So the shed will be on my home internet. Like right now, it's on my mining internet. It might actually have both. Like I have 2. Basically, I wired 2 like 300-foot Ethernet cables. I wired a backup in case the one breaks, so I can literally just go to both. Right? Like the infrastructure's already there. I already have all the routers. Buying all those old like gig routers from shit.
So hang on a second. So why do you have? I'll ask this question because I'm sure the rest. Why do you have 2 internets?
Well, so for work, I needed a static IP. And
that's what it was. It was because of static.
So that's why. And then I realized I didn't need the static IP because I found a workaround for my house anyway. But they were like, "We're paying for it. We don't care." So then what I did was I put all my mining equipment on that, so none of the mining stuff interacted with my home. So I could be.
But that's where a router would come into play. You get a good router that you can set up VLANs so that those things can't talk to any other part of your network.
Yeah, but when you had 2 separate internets, you didn't have to do any of that.
Well, I get that.
I got to be lazy.
For 2 internets,
and they don't ever
upfront cost that you will never have to pay again. You have upfront cost, and now you're done.
Well, no, I don't pay for this, so I don't care.
Or you don't pay for the internet?
No, my company pays for it.
Oh, okay, got
it. So in my unique situation, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
No, I mean technically, what I need to do is I need to pick your brain. And I probably need to give this internet, I probably need to get rid of this internet. But maybe, do you think it might be worth doing Comcast? Because I like the idea of not having because I know you could separate them all, but if they never touch, you can never be hacked, right? Like if you get into my Comcast internet, you're never getting into my FiOS one from the Comcast one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I'm of the mindset that I feel pretty confident that with the way I have mine set up, that if somebody tries to get into one of my AI rigs, that they can't get to the rest of my network.
So if I set it up right, you're telling me that I could I should probably just go to 2 gig FiOS and run my vast rigs on that or whatever on that. Okay.
Yep. That would be my recommendation. I don't have access to that. The only fiber that I could get, but it would take about 6 months, would be Comcast, and it would be 10 gig up and down.
Oh, Max, I could get whatever I want. So I'm in Comcast's first ever residential network.
That's right, because
I've had Comcast. You're gonna laugh at me.
By the way, Comcast is from Pennsylvania. In case those people didn't know.
Do you know when I got Comcast broadband? Do you know what year I got Comcast cable internet?
I can't believe it was before I did, because I got it back in like 2001 or 2.
99.
A long time ago.
99.
90. Okay, all right, you do have me beat. Okay. Because in 99, I still remember I was still on DSL.
So you know how I got it? You're gonna laugh at me. So I needed to play video games. I was playing Counter-Strike, dude. I was playing all those games. No, it might have been Max. We might have it at the same time. I lied. It might be 2001. Anyway.
By the way, sorry, Bleach. No, I can't get Metronet. By the way, Metronet was bought. The residential side of Metronet was bought out by T-Mobile Fiber. So now T-Mobile Fiber, actually Lumos is doing the install. So that's coming. I just don't know exactly when. I was originally told it would be by next summer. So it's just past 6 months. So that's why I'm like not really pursuing the Comcast side of things, because I don't really want to pay over $300 a month in order to get 10 gig, which to get 10 gig, $300 a month isn't actually that bad. I mean, you scale up all these other ones, 2 gig to 10 gig. Yeah, it's not actually that horrible, because, you're going to pay $80, $70 minimum for like 2 gig service. So 80 times, 5, you're looking at 400. So what they're charging, the biggest problem though, is the install fee. The install fee is like $1,000 to $1,500 to actually have them, because they have to run the fiber from the final node to your backyard node, and then to your house. So that's basically what you're paying for, and they're still subsidizing it because that costs a lot of money. So I'm not faulting them for what it costs. It's just that's a huge investment to make.
So with FiOS, I can get up to 2. It looks like. I'm sure if I call, I can get more, but I can get up to 2, and I have 1. So maybe I will just up it to 2, because like I said, I have everything here in Comcast. I can get whatever I want, because we were the first net. Like my neighborhood is ran with everything.
Do you guys have DOCSIS 4.0 yet? You probably should check. You guys might have it.
I don't know.
So DOCSIS 4.0. So there's finally going to be via coax. There's going to be symmetrical speeds. It's going to be 2 gig up, 2 gig down. That's coming soon to where I am. You may already have it.
So, all right. So my cousin works for Comcast, and I asked him one day, and he said everything gets tested in our area first. Like anything they do it in the Philly metro, like the whole Philly metro.
No, I'm familiar.
So like
they put it out in press releases. It's not a secret.
Yeah. No. So like I'm literally we're like I don't have, so it's so saturated here though. Like when I first had cable internet, Max, there were 2 people in my county that had it when I first had it. Right? Like my parents, so quick 2-second story. So my grandma was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "Will you pay for my internet for the year?" And I gave her the number. She said, "Sure." So we just kept doing that. That was like all she gave me. So one computer could get cable internet because they didn't have, they didn't really have routers back then, or I don't remember they did. So it was hooked directly into my PC. And my parents were like, "We want this." I'm like, "You didn't pay for it." So my parents were on 56K, and my gaming computer was broadband. So like I was kicking the shit out of, how many people I was beating? Like my friends wouldn't play with me because I was the only one that nobody knew about cable. Like I was cheating my way to victory.
I still remember when I was playing StarCraft and I was on DSL, so I was fine, but there were still people doing it over dial-up. And it was painful to play with these people because you get lag. You just would stall out in the middle of the game.
When my friends were beating me, this is bad, and I'm not proud of this. Max knows where I'm going. I would call them. I would get on my phone and I would type "fuck you" and I'd call, and then I'd get a call. "You mother piece of shit!" Like I would call them when I was losing, and I would boot them off the internet, and they would be so mad.
Yeah, the good old days. The good old days.
So, all right. So you're telling me that for my budding, all right, I'll message you and I'll look into that.
Yeah, I really think that that's the right move, honestly.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we definitely have been. I like barely even touched what I was going to talk about tonight.
I mean, we have people watching. I mean,
No, hey, no, this is good. This is
there's
good.
a lot of
I find it
people-
entertaining.
there's a lot of multiple streams, and we're doing good, I think.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. Oh, did you see that Red Fox's video was taken down?
So yeah, so I have a theory on that, right?
I figured you did.
And I didn't say it. So my thing now when I do content on crypto on my other YouTube channel, I never tag crypto anything. I don't tag it. Like I have a decent following. I tag other things. I tag hardware, and I get views. Right? I get views, and I get their channel makes money. I think he tagged the wrong thing and got caught and got his pee-pee waxed. What about you? What do you think?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
That's my uneducated. I saw the tweet. I didn't message him. I didn't talk to him yet. That's my 2-second uneducated tweet.
That's interesting. I know Brandon was basically like, be careful. You know, you get one video taken down, but if you appeal it and they reject your appeal, then that's like strike one. It's not strike one when you get a warning.
Did you see Gamers Nexus talk about that?
That was how long ago was that?
No, he did it like a week ago. Like,
oh, did he? No, I didn't see
a new
that.
video. I'm actually.
Oh, that's right. No, I did see that video. I didn't see the whole thing. I watched part of it.
And I've heard. So it's funny. We now run like him and I are like 1 degree of separation, and I've heard he's legitimately like a good dude, which is cool. Like he's legitimately like what you would think. There are some big tech tubers I hear are not what you think.
Yes, I know. I mentioned one earlier. I heard, but
Who
anyway,
did you say? Who was it?
I wasn't gonna say his name on stream.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Let's put it the way: he knows Gamers Nexus, lives in the same general area. Not Paul.
Paul doesn't live out there. They're all in LA. All those guys are from LA.
Oh wait, where's Gamers Nexus from?
California, or not California, North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was out in California.
Which one are we talking about? We'll talk after stream.
No, hold on a second. I thought Gamers Nexus was out in California.
No, they're from North Carolina.
Okay, so no. Let's just say the guy I'm talking about was from California.
What side of the 49th parallel is he from?
He's from the LA area.
Oh. I don't know who you're talking
his
about.
Name earlier, but anyway, we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
But anyway, but yeah, some guys, are not as nice as they may seem on camera.
What's your persona?
Yeah, it is your persona, but the other part of it is that I think a lot of these guys value their privacy. Yeah. So if you come up to them out of the blue and be like, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" Like, I'm with my kid. We're like at karate class. What are you doing?
No, you don't do that.
So I think a lot of that is where that comes from. So some guys will always have their guard up, and I think this guy has his guard up a lot, and I get it. I don't necessarily fault him for it. I just know that I've heard people complain about this particular YouTuber. That's all.
So somebody in the chat just said
it's not Linus. It's not Linus.
I can't. I don't want to.
Well, first of all, I'm not saying Linus can't be a dick. I mean, that's well documented that he can be. But it's like, how do I put it? It's like when don't back him into a corner. Don't give him an ultimatum. Don't get mad at him if he tells you that he doesn't want to do what you're asking. You know, those types of things. So
I got scheduled. I was gonna get scheduled next to him with somebody, and I requested to not be like so it's pretty sweet. There's like tiers of creators, right? Mm-hmm. And I got in. I'm in the final tier on the tech tubing side, which is I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. And I got scheduled next to him, and I was like, I talked to one of my reps. And I'm like, can I be not next to him? Like I didn't want to be. first of all, I didn't want to get swallowed up by him because he commands the room, right? Like,
Right.
so I will lose any valuable FaceTime I have. So that
Right.
was the biggest reason, right? Like, had nothing to do with him. It
Right.
would've
No,
been-
yeah.
If it was Jay, if it was Steve, it would have been anybody else. But I I've heard some things and I don't really want to.
No, and I've heard the same thing. So, like I said, I think
Yeah.
everything is a situation, and none of us were in the situation when it happened, and it's two different people saying.
Oh,
what
I'll
they
never
believe,
get involved
you know.
in any of that shit. Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, my point is that I take all of it with a grain of salt. There's this story, that story, and usually the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Exactly. 100%. Always that way.
Yeah.
So do you think the AI rental stuff, right? I mean, obviously you're living proof of it, but do you think it's a viable path going forward for people like me who have higher power? Because I mean, everybody in the
I
chat
do.
has low ass power, but like forget about your core following, like the other people.
So here's the thing. So I mean, tell me why it wouldn't. Everybody's like, oh well, you know, all these new guys are all these, you know, all the big guys are putting in tons and tons and tons and tons, and like, yeah, why is that? Because they can't keep up with demand. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't everything else scale at the same rate?
So the thing is though, like it almost goes back to Wart, right? You can only scale so much when you have to have one machine to basically, even if you do what you did and you have 8 rigs to a GPU to a Threadripper, how many people really are going to do that?
Yeah, not many.
And like I know, like what we were talking about before we got super fucking derailed, right? I know where this goes. Like you see money, you go expand, right? I'm not sure. I bought a 5090. Maybe I'll buy another 5090. I'm not saying I won't, right? Never say never. But I'm never going to. I have a point. I'm not going to go past it, and I'm going to use this as like a revenue generator for my channel. So it's going to make me money that way, and then it's going to make me passive income. I've already done the scaling game.
Yes, you have. And
I
why
have
would
the
you feel like?
infrastructure.
Okay, why would you feel like it would be any different? It's just like the guy who gets into boats or RVs. You get 2-foot-itis. Oh, this one's not big enough. This one's not big enough. And you keep wanting to get just a little bit bigger. This is no different. You get content where you are, and you're like, at some point, you're gonna be like, you know, I want to build another one.
No, I'm not. I'm good. No, but what I'm trying to tell you, I am the king of contentness. Some people hate it about me. My boss. So my real job, right? I turned down promotions for 4 years. They were going to give me more money, more responsibility. They figured out that I like hacked the system. So my boss came up to me and was like, you have an option. You're going to take a management with a minority ownership stake in the company. You're getting fired. That's literally what they told me.
Jeez.
Because they tried to, like, I literally turned down promotions because I was doing almost no work, but I was justifying my numbers, if that makes sense. They knew what I was doing. And like the one partner was like, he's not a drag on the company. You can't fire him. But and then the other guy's like, he's not doing anything. And they're like, yeah, but the things he's doing are justifying his salary.
Right.
Like, they literally told me the conversation they had. So they were like, here's the deal. Like, have you ever heard that before? Ownership stake or you're getting fired. So
I've heard things based upon that exact thing.
Point is,
kind of, but not exactly. No.
All I'm getting at is the contentness, right?
Yeah.
And like the rig will, if I can keep my mining channel, whatever we call it, generating income, I'm going to keep doing it. So if this will have dual purpose, but like, I'm not going to scale. I know that game. I've already played that game. And I'm not saying it's not a zero-sum game, and I'm not saying you're not making money, because this is totally different than buying the shittiest, best value GPUs. You're buying only top-end hardware, right? I don't want to play that game anymore. Like, I don't want to race. Like, if I'm only making $300 a month and max voltage is making $300 a day, I'm good.
Oh, this isn't about competition, though.
No, but that's how it starts. You see what people make, and you're like, I could make that. It's not, I'm mad that you're making it. I'm not.
No, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is, what can I do with my setup? I'm literally doing financial numbers on what makes sense. And obviously, one of the things you pointed out was this shit holds its value. So why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah.
And so for me, I know I've probably got the ability to add about 8 to 10 more cards to the basement and still be able to evacuate the heat. And then I have to move to a shed. Or not move to a shed, but add a shed to add any additional. And I'm definitely seriously thinking about it. I actually talked to a hobbyist about it because my biggest concern with moving to a shed was the fact that the fans, like gable fans, are too loud. I would probably breach the sound at the property line.
You want to talk to me because my neighbor figured out what I was doing. And I told him one day, like the only person that knew, he fought me and the town I'm in tooth and nail, right? But I beat him every time. The cops walked my perimeter of my house to see if I was I figured out the noise. I was on the line. They couldn't touch me. And I filed 2 restraining orders against him because he doesn't even live. Wow. He doesn't even live. It's his girlfriend's house.
Oh, Jesus.
And I threatened him and I said, if the restraining order hits, you can't be with her basically anymore. Like I will. And I went after him. Like I went hard, and the town hates this guy because he's like the guy that complains about everything. And right. I won every step of the way. So what I'm telling you is if you figure out the ordinances and you are within, they can't touch you.
No, I know. But my point is that where I want to put this is 5 feet from the property line.
Mine's 3 feet. Mine is, so I'll send you pictures because I've never showed you.
How is it gable? How many, do you have gable fans?
I did my shed before Hobbyist did. Like I watched him do it and I was like, you're doing this wrong. Well, he did his with inline fans because they're quieter. No, I did mine with what are those oh god, I'll find them, but they're industrial fans, dude. These are like they didn't turn off for 4 years straight. They ran 24/7.
I get it, but like I said, they're gable fans. Basically, they have vents that open and close, right?
Yeah.
That's what you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that at least the ones I've got, like the ones I have in my basement, they're loud. They're loud.
These are 60 decibels.
Ours is not. Ours doesn't allow that high of noise.
Oh, but
I would have to be. I think I forget what the number is, but it's certainly below 60.
No. But listen, I will say this right with the shed. So for me, at least, when I built the shed, I knew mining wasn't going to last that long. Like I built it when we knew we had a year of mining. I was like, look, I think it was like, I was like, look, we'll get a year, maybe a year and a half. I did the math, right? And I was like, if I sell ETH at 5,000, I calculated out 5,000 ETH, it will justify the cost of the shed. And then the bear market, like the 2 years after ETH turned out to be awesome. Like it paid for the shed.
Right.
The two years after ETH, forget about the ETH, the 2 years after. So now that the shed is off and it's basically storage until I get it redone, it was worth it. But you have to have a use for your shed after the shed.
Well, I will. I mean, I have a shed now that is like over 30 years old. So the plan is actually right up front it'll probably be like a 20-foot by 10-foot shed.
Oh, wow. And mine's 10 by 10.
Well, 10 by 10 will be our storage, and then 10 by 10 will be the mining, the AI portion of it.
Well, so what
we'll build a wall in it.
But the good thing of what you can do too is you can evacuate, like you can put like quieter fan, like you can almost have the wind tunnel go the opposite way, where you can have the fans in the non-developed part of the shed. So so say you have the first part of the shed, the good part, right? And then you have the storage part. What you do is you put the fans in the storage part of the shed and you pull the air that way.
Well, yeah. The key is so I've thought about a couple different things. One is put the fans on the wrong side, or not the wrong side, the side that faces the yard, that faces our yard.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you do that, yeah, I'd probably be fine because then you're just sucking air on the other side. The problem is that then that is going to face my neighbor that's not always friendly.
Well, so
they will bitch and moan, even though we'll be within it. It's just I'm trying to figure out a way.
Bitch, here's the thing: if they bitch, it doesn't matter because the person that's willing to go to DEFCON 10 wins. I literally threatened to sue him. I walked up. He called the township on me. The cop showed up at his door the next day.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So I do have something held over his head right now.
I nuked
him. we had a, I don't know, the pandemic made people go nuts. And for whatever reason, they decided to pick a fight with us over their yard. They basically had, instead of having the utilities in their yard, they put like a diagonal fence across that part of the yard.
Oh, demolish it.
No,
Kill
that's
him.
fine. That's fine. They're allowed to do that. It's completely what they can do. But that is still their yard and still their responsibility. It's not a responsibility. Well, there was a mulberry bush that had grown up and over their fence where it was touching their shed. And they're like, well, we did it the last time. It's your turn. Like, no, it's not. It's not our yard. Yes, it is. No, it's not. And like, well, we can go down to the village and we can pull. We don't need to. I can pull out my plat of survey and I can show you.
Oh,
I said I can go out there and I
that.
can point to the posts that are in the ground. I know where they are. We can get to them. I can show you. I'm happy to show you. And they decided to go to DEFCON 10 about complaining about a whole bunch of stuff where the only thing we had to do is we had to take down the remaining part of our fence, which we were already going to do anyway, but they decided to make a thing out of it. I said, that's fine. And then they started continuing to complain. And I'm like, all right, this is going to stop now. I found out that the way that they had run their sump pump outlet was along the side of their fence where it was outletting right at the property line. That is against ordinance.
Did you make them?
So I reported them for it, and the city required them to put in a French drain. The whole month of June, it was freaking hot as blazes, and it's the wife that made all this problem, but the husband's the one who suffered. And so anyway, so then after that happened, he's pissed. So they start coming after us for other things. And I said, fine. The ordinance officer came up and I'm like, let's take a look at every single one of these things. All of these have explanations that are not like, one of them they said was you've had a car in your driveway with an expired license plate. And I'm like, it's the pandemic. All of them are not required to be renewed. It's in the state. The state extended it. Okay. Not up to us. You know that. She's like, yeah, but I just have to make sure you know that. I'm like, yeah, I know that. That's why this is a valid license plate. Even tried to pull this has been in your driveway for 2 weeks. Yeah, who's going anywhere? So hang on, I gotta finish the story. I go over everything with the person and I said, here's the thing. You see that shed on their property? Yeah. Is it in the easement? Yeah, but it's mobile. I said, uh-huh. What's it built on? It's built on a permanent base in the easement. If I complain, you will make them move the shed, right? She's like, yep. If I don't complain, you won't, right? She's like, yep. I said, you need to go over to them and tell them, knock the shit off, or he's going to make you move the shed. Or he's going to make you move the shed. They never heard another word from him.
So they I have cameras now facing my yard that look on their yard so I can like be sure. And I basically told the lady, I was like, listen, so if you do anything to your house, a neighbor can veto it where I live. Right. So all the neighbors, we all like have this pact where you support each other, except for this one guy. And I looked at her and I was like, anything you do, I'm vetoing. You're never doing it. Like I went DEFCON 10. I said, consider me a hostile neighbor. After everything was done, I reported. The cops came twice and they were like, I threatened them for harassment and I won. And the township sided with me with everything, right? Because they hated my shed. And they couldn't touch it. They reported me as stealing power and they actually did me a service. My power company came out and they laughed because you could see the conduit run on the side of my house. The conduit runs on my shed. They're like, we know you didn't do anything. We have to check it, right?
Right.
So I'm on this list of like ultra trustworthy, like whatever. So it helps me. But I was basically like, you will never get an improvement done on your house because you're old and I'm not. And I am going to, like, I went right to 10, right? I was like, you can't touch me. I'm within the rules. So don't ever do anything to your house because I'll veto everything. Like I will go to court and I will fight you. Never heard a peep out of him again.
Yeah,
it's
only this one neighbor. It's only this one neighbor.
Only one.
And and I obviously I don't want to do anything to piss off any of the neighbors because I'm still a little nervous of how much the sound will be.
Listen,
if I got a wall of fans, you know.
I asked them, Max. I asked my other neighbors. I don't have a big property. I'll show you after. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Nobody knew I had a shed. Like I had a shed that was doing computer stuff. Because the neighbor that saw the fans, they were like, "Those are fans." Oh, nobody knew.
Wow. Okay.
Except for the one that was the furthest away from my house. So, like, I'm telling you, you'll be fine. As long as you follow the ordinances and the inspector in my neighborhood, like, who's like the biggest guy in the town, his son worked for blockchain technology. See how that was the coolest thing ever? Like, I gave him a tour.
Cool.
I gave him a tour. He looked at me. He goes, "I'll make sure you never lose." Like, but anyway, going back to all what we were talking about, like, I don't want to expand. Like, I want to be where I'm at. So where I'm at is salad. Basically, salad is all of that the way to go, even with a high power rate.
I mean, the problem with the smaller providers is that I've seen that their demand fluctuates more.
Yes,
They seem to have to sell their services a little bit more.
You just turn off.
No, I know. I mean,
All
you
my
can,
hardware-
but I'm just saying, if you want to make sure it keeps running and it stays consistent, the longer you're on something like Vast, the more trustworthy you're out with customers. You'll have the same customers coming back to rent you. There's just there's a lot of benefit to being on Vast. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm not going to be on Salad. I'm putting other things on Salad. I want to see how much it makes. I've heard varying amounts on the 5090 as to what they make. They may make close to what Vast is making right now. So, and like I said, for people that don't know Linux, Salad is awesome. Salad is absolutely awesome.
So you're saying if I basically just like redo my home internet and do it right, I could probably just run Vast and be fine. Because I'll do that.
I mean, yeah, you could, but like I said, you got to be patient. It's the long game, because you could
care.
sit there for 3 months, not verified, making less than what you'd be making on Salad.
Well, so I don't care about any of that, right?
Okay.
Like, to me, so to me, right? Like, I'm gonna be. I told everybody I would always be transparent, right? Half of the appeal of running these AI farms is I can do sponsored content on them, like in some way. Like, I have. So some brands won't work with my crypto channel, like my tech. I have 2 channels. I already have hardware. I need new power supplies for the 5090s and the 4090s. I already have power supplies coming. A brand sponsored me. So, like, if I can make sponsored content and keep content coming out, because there's not much to do on the mining front, then it's worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a double. So, and have you tried Octaspace in Clore, by the way?
I have. I tried it for a little while. It did really well for a bit, but that was right as a lot of people were hopping on Octaspace. And so it got pretty saturated pretty darn quick. Same thing with QuickPod. That also got saturated pretty quick.
So you find that Vast just works and it never gets saturated, basically?
I mean, it does. I mean, you definitely have times where you're slower. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't ever have a time where I'm not at least half rented.
What are you making per month? Can you talk about, like, are you comfortable talking about
I mean,
it?
I've talked about it before. So right now, my last week I made over 800, just over 800, but I was on track to make 900 and then everything fell off. This week, if it continues like it did today, it's going to be just over 700 a week.
All your hardware paid off, I'm guessing? Like, paid off?
I mean, technically it could be paid off, but is it paid off? No. Why would I pay off, stuff that is, 0% interest?
Yeah.
So that's stuff I haven't paid off, but yeah, I could pay it off. Right now I'm deciding to take the revenue and actually putting it into more hardware.
Yeah. So do you think when you're at, like, when you're at that inflection point, when you're like, okay, I'm full and I have to invest the capital in a shed, because shed's not cheap. Like, if you do a good, so like this was right before everything got expensive, right? My shed, I'll be honest with you, my shed cost me 24 grand to do.
Yeah, it isn't going to be cheap. I know that.
Like, the electric
the shed itself is probably 10 to 12. And then you have everything else that goes into it.
My power to get my power ran cost me $8,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking 400. I turned my 200 into a 400 amp. I got it from the pole, all that crap. It's not cheap.
So does yours go straight from the pole to the shed?
No. So how I had to legally loophole it, right? It all goes to my house, and then my house gets split. Like I have a 200 amp in my house, a 200 amp in my shed. It gets split from the house.
Right. So that's the one thing. If I don't have to run another 200 amp to the house, because that's like, I'm guessing about 130 to 150 feet to the house. But
yeah, that's where mine
I
was.
cut that in half if I can run it straight to the shed.
So what you can do, how I was able to save a lot of money, I ran the conduit on my siding. It's white. It's white, and my wife doesn't care. Thank God. I ran the conduit on my siding. I only had to bury 10 feet. So that saved me, because I was trying to bury the whole thing. It was going to triple the cost.
Well, yours is overhead though.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
Oh, yours
Mine,
not?
nothing is overhead. Everything's buried.
Oh.
So in the backyard, I've got a transformer that is on the ground on a concrete slab.
Yeah, but you could still run it like you could put poles or like you could do something. I don't know.
No, the town would not allow that. Absolutely would not allow that.
So
You're gonna have to dig it.
Can you make the shed? So the thing that they wouldn't let me do, because I wanted more power, and they told me that since it's not a permanent structure, I couldn't get more power. Like to get what I got was I negotiated and I found loopholes. And
So in our town, they consider a shed a permanent structure.
oh, see, mine's on a gravel base, so it's not a permanent structure.
Oh no, mine will be like, mine will not be just on a gravel base.
So if
Mine
you
will
can
actually
do,
be-
you can go the hobbyist route, maybe. Like hobbyist got commercial power rate where he's at.
that they won't allow. That much I do know. They won't do that.
They won't.
But it depends. I've heard two stories. One is that they will not allow more than 1 meter on a residential lot. But I've heard other people say, yeah, that is kind of the standard, but people have gotten around it. So I got to find out. Like I said, that person that called me from ComEd is gold.
Did you get his number?
That person, yeah, I got his number. He's like, yeah, call me anytime.
Bro, take him out to dinner. Like buy him dinner. Literally, like wine and dine.
You gotta be careful. You don't want to be creepy.
No,
Did everybody tell you you're a little creepy?
Not the people that I need.
Okay.
Nah, man. I'm not like I have two personal superpowers, and one of them is I know when someone doesn't like me the instant they don't like me. And it's the best superpower. I'm never like if someone doesn't like me, like I'll ignore it and I won't give a shit. Like if I'm in a room with a bunch of people, I know that person's like, I just keep being like, I don't care. But I know when I know when my time is done. Like it's the best superpower I have. So what's the max you can put in your shed then?
Well, like I said, I can put 200 amp in the shed. As I would have to up the worst case would be I'd have to up the house to 400 amp basically, and run it through 1 meter. That's the hardest part.
So for us, the trickiest part was getting the box. We had to wait that was during COVID though. We had to wait for the meter box, because I have this big giant like my box. You see it from my driveway, like something's going on in that guy's house. Like my box is like fucking massive, and I had to do that to save money.
Yeah. So like I already have it all planned out, like what I would do if I had like endless money. I would build the shed, hopefully get a meter on it, a separate meter. But then the biggest problem would be if it's on its separate meter, where the hell do I put the batteries? Because do I put the batteries on the house, or do I basically get 2 sets of batteries at that point? So that's the tough part.
So can you do what Chump did and just not tie the batteries in? Like,
technically they're not. The batteries wouldn't they would be tied into they would have to be tied into the network, because I do have net metering. The bad part is if I were to put in batteries, and you're talking about what do you do post, if all this goes to shit and you're not doing it at all anymore, you're still going to want general net metering for your solar panels. Okay. So if I add the batteries, I lose I lose full net metering. I still get supply side net metering, but basically it takes away my grandfathered status.
Yeah,
That's
you don't want to
the
lose that.
negative. Yeah, that's the negative.
So, so actually, that speaking of hardware, when are you gonna? So, like your 4090s, right? Like I'm sure they've made you so much money that they could blow up now and you still be happy with them. But
Well,
when
yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
what obviously not. But
Yeah.
what's going to be the signal for you that it's time to sell the 4090s and move to 5090s? Because theoretically, right now you can buy 59. Like you could almost do a 1-to-1 swap. So to me, it seems like you're crazy for not like if I could do.
I'm almost there right now with where I'm seeing the 5090s go now.
Well, like you could sell a 4090, say you net 1900, right? Let's say you net 1900 after bullshit, and you're paying 2200 for a 5090. That seems like a no-brainer, right?
It does. It's just a hassle. Plus, if you have something sitting there making you money, how long is it going to take you? Hey, you got to pay for the 8. Like, let's just say I decided to do that on the 8 GPU rig. Okay. I have to buy the 8 GPUs first. That's a hefty outlay.
No, you sell them first, and then you buy them.
No, because then I'm not making money.
Yeah, but like, all right. So if it was me, right? If it was me with the infrastructure I have in place now, I could swap. I could get the 5090s in a week. It would take me a week to get the 5090s, and it would take me. I could sell 8 4090s probably in 3 days.
Okay, so how much money do you think I lose by doing that? How much am I giving up?
So I'm assuming you have a credit card, right? With that you could put on.
I do. I'm just
So
saying that if I don't do the swap, like literally go from one to the other.
Well, you would. You'd put it on a credit card.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's my point is it's still a lot of money. Do I have a $16,000 credit card? No, actually I don't.
Oh, well, so like I churned during COVID. So I have a high limit.
I did at one point. I don't now. I have great credit now.
No. So
I did go through a period of time there I didn't have great credit. So I have not even asked to have my limits raised. I probably could.
So let's say you have 8, right? Let's just say you could do 4 at a time, right? You buy 4, you swap out 4, you sell the 4.
Can't do that. You got to do it all at once because you can't have a mixed rig.
Okay, you don't have hardware lying around that you can't slap up a rig real quick for a week?
No.
Okay, all right. So you take 4 down, right? You take 4 down. You take the whole 8-card rig down. You replace it with 4 5090s. You sell all 8 right away. You could probably sell those in a week. And then you buy 4 more 5090s.
I hear what you're saying. The point is though, every day that is not making me money, I'm losing $50 a day. $50 a day.
You would be down one day.
$500 a month, $500 a week.
You would be down one day, and then you have to ask yourself, how much more does a 5090 make than a 4090?
Not much, actually. That's the thing. It isn't that much.
It isn't that much now, but it will be one day. One day you're gonna blink.
Well, yeah, because the 4090 is gonna go down.
So like, all right. So I'm gonna go to another example. This has nothing.
Wait, but hang on. You're missing something in the equation though.
Okay.
What's coming out? What's going to be announced in January and what's going to come out in probably March?
Do you know what I've not heard? I can tell you this. I have contacts in the leaking side of things, right? I can't tell you things, but I have not heard anything about a 5090 refresh. Nothing.
No, I'm talking about 5070 Ti Super. That's what I'm talking about. So here's the thing. That
you think it's going to rent more than a You think it's going to rent more than a 5090?
No, it won't rent more than a 5090. But the point is that it will pay more per dollar that you pay for that. It will rent out for more per dollar that you pay.
Yeah, but what if it's not as efficient? What if it's not as efficient? Because you only have so much power, right? So like, what if being dense is better? Because from what I've heard, I can talk about this because this is leaked. From what I've heard from credible sources, all right, the 5070 Ti Super is going to be a 5070 Ti with 24 gigs of VRAM. That's it.
Yeah, it's going to be 24 gigs of VRAM. Yes, there's going to be no difference. But that's been the leaks.
But it's not going to be as good as 5090, so it's going to rent for less, right?
It will rent for less, but it's only going to cost like they're talking about, well, the rumor is that it's going to cost about the same as what a 5070 Ti currently costs. So that's $750. Now, even if it was $1,000 or less, you're still going to make more than half.
Yeah, but what about the power usage of it?
I'm thinking it's
use a lot
like
of power.
350 watts.
What?
I've heard it's going to be like 350 watts. It's going to be a little bit more than half of what a 5090 is, but you're going to make more than half of what a 5090 makes. My guess is that when it comes out, it'll rent for around 20 cents a day. Right now, you're making around 30 cents a day on a 5090. Trust me.
But what about resale value?
He's probably still here. He was surprised when I brought up to him what 5060 Ti's do, and he rolled out a bunch of 5060 Ti rigs because he's had really good luck with them. The problem is that they're worse for density because they're only 16 gig.
But what about resale value?
They're easier to resell.
No, but what I'm trying to tell you is the 90 class is in a category of its own in terms of resale value.
I hear what you're saying, but you have to look at the other side of things as well. Which one's more likely to catch fire?
Dude, that's bullshit. I've seen.
I have not had any problems with it personally because I'm
more than
very
anybody.
careful.
You know more than anybody. Come on.
Yeah, I know you have to be really careful with it, but it's still more of a risk. It's still more of a risk. You have to take it into account. So I don't know. I really want to build an 8 rig 5070 Ti super rig. That's what I want to build.
So you're gonna laugh at me. I think I may be on the review sample for one, but I can't touch crypto with it. Like I can't do anything.
That's all right. You can just send it to me. I'll put it on AI. No problem.
I can't.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help you out with that.
Like I have GPUs that you'll never see on an AI rental farm. Unfortunately, that's the deal. It's the deal. It was like they hate that shit, man. They hate it so much, and it's funny because it's all lumped into AI, right? Like it doesn't even. So 5070 Ti's and so 5090s aren't what you're targeting, huh?
I did just buy one. It's not like I'm not
buying. I know.
But I mean, I have my eye. When those come out, I really want to buy a bunch of those. Are
you okay with? So I basically, you don't care if, like, say the 4090s drop in value because everyone else sees what you're doing and does the same thing. You don't care then? Like, you'd rather?
I mean, do I care? Yes, I care. But you have to think it's not just about losing the value of the GPU itself. It's you're no longer have the income that it was producing. So you have to look at it and say, the price that it's going down, is that more or less than what you're actually making with it? And it's really, really hard to time that perfectly.
So I guess with my mining farm, right? I upgraded 4 times. I timed everyone perfectly. Well, the first one I should have sold when ETH collapsed, but I wanted to earn that ETH, like you said. And I don't regret it, honestly, 50-50. But I timed it right until I didn't. And the 170 HXs, I lost 20% of my farm's value.
Enable, you're right. You can virtualize it. I'm doing that with the new build. So I know I can do that. The point is that's basically rebuilding everything, and I would lose my verification.
No,
that's what I don't want to do. I have to keep that verification. Now, a 8 by 5090 rig, yeah, it's probably going to get verified pretty damn quick anyway. But I don't want to risk it. If I've got a verified rig, I do not want to lose it.
So is Octaserver worth going to do it, looking at, or anything, or are they crap, basically?
I have not looked at them recently. I know that they do have a Windows interface, so it is really easy to get on their platform now. And when it was easy, when it was they really made the Linux installation super easy. So I got nothing really. I have nothing but positive things to say about Octaspace. The problem is, again, smaller platform, and the demand seems to vary a lot more with smaller platforms. That's the thing. I will continue to say it. Vast is a long game, and you can hop between all these others to see who's hot, who's not.
Yeah, you kind of told me. Honestly, like, once, like, I think what I might take your lead, and I may honestly build like a single Vast rig for my 5090. Like, I might, because I can get hardware. Like, I have no issue getting hardware. So like, I might just remember,
like, the one I've got on Vast that still is not verified. I believe it's been on there for 2 months, not verified. it sat for 4 weeks because I wanted to make sure it was able to be tested, available to be tested for 4 weeks without being rented. And then I finally said they had to have time to test this at this point. And then I started lowering the price. So right now I'm rented out for 20 cents for a 5090 because it's unverified. So that's the key, is that it's the long game, and it's very frustrating when you feel like you see all these other people getting verified and you're not getting verified. And that is definitely frustrating.
Oh, I would literally just like, so I have a knack for finding people that I need things from in positions of good and making friends with them very fast. So I'd figure out a way to get verified, or I try to anyway. Not
I
saying
mean,
it's
I
easy.
do have a contact, but I try to use it extremely sparingly.
No, I get
And I
it.
don't want to take advantage of it when I don't have to.
No, I get it totally.
So I have not reached out to him on this particular one, like asking him to verify.
When you have a single 5090 rig for Vast, would you pair AM5 or would you just go all Threadripper and all that crap?
No, I mean, this particular build was kind of like, I looked at the pricing and I knew, I'm like, this is stupid cheap, because DDR5 was so high in price. Like, I priced this out and it was easily about 50% more if I bought each part individually. And I looked at like what the price on this was, and it's more now, but if you can see it, it's hard to see. Anyway, right there it says $850 for 128 gig of DDR4 RDIMMs. Go out and price that. Now, when I got the receipt, this was listed at less than $500. The processor is supposedly $1,500. That's the MSRP. That was like 50% off. The motherboard, I think was like 25% off, something like that. But it was crazy, like the deal on this thing. And I started thinking, I'm like, if I can put 2 GPUs, X16, hopefully eventually put 3, and it's $2,000 for motherboard, memory, and CPU. I'm like, I feel like I'm golden. Like this is now. I'm sure there's gonna be people that will argue, like, you probably could have done that with an Epic. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I never had a Threadripper before, and I kind of wanted to see what it was like.
I got my first RAM kit sample, right? I got it, came in today. Buddy, the hardest thing in the tech tuber space to get sampled is GPUs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I can get RAM or GPUs easier than RAM. There is a massive issue, like supply shortage with DDR5 RAM.
I know, DDR5. If you need DDR5, order it now because it's gonna be gone.
Oh, dude, it's like I'm struggling. Like, I have samplers and I'm begging for RAM. Like, I can get, and GPUs are, you have to either know people or be like 100,000 followers at minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can get a GPU easier than I can get a fucking kit of RAM right now, because it's the shortage. It's so incredibly bad. So
now,
do you think?
Go ahead. Go and finish.
No,
I was going to transition to a different subject real quick.
One more thing. Do you think DDR do you think DDR5 like AM5 platform is okay for Vast?
It's fine. I mean, DDR4, AM4, DDR5, AM5, I think are both fine for it. You don't need to go Epic. You don't need to go Threadripper. Okay. But like I said, when you go to AM5 and try to find first of all, you can't ever find a motherboard that'll do 2 X16 slots because there's not enough lanes.
No, AM5 is awful for that.
Try to find an AM5 motherboard that does 2 PCI slots, X8 each. They are extremely hard to find. They went away from it.
I can get them.
I mean, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying the actual models that do it is so far and few between.
No, I would abuse my tech tuber status and review them and then put them on it. So I would just get them. So I don't care about that, but that's reasonable. I would only put one 5090 on a rig though for Vast. I'd only do one for now.
Why only one?
Because I would, I guess the idea would be like to do like a video series to milk it, like to learn about it, do one, compare it to other things. And
I'm just saying that the reason I'm asking that is I mean, number of GPUs. Because the thing is that obviously everybody's like, oh yeah, you can pay off your GPUs. Well, true, except you got to remember there's a cost to the actual hardware. Because, you know, with mining, it was like, oh, this stuff's cheap. You know, the motherboard, hell, we were getting Zotac motherboards way back when for $20. Mining motherboards for $20. Memory was cheap. Everything to build one of those, you build them for less than $500. I mean, I'm really going up there.
Well, I mean,
$500. So now you're talking about, going straight, consumer hardware. Yeah, it's gonna cost more.
I mean,
build it.
To be fair, that's where I would leverage the YouTube side of it.
I know you don't have to worry about it, but my point is that other people have to.
Yeah, but also that hardware resells better than, well, I guess the Epics resell pretty well. The old Epics haven't lost value, have they?
They do. It depends. If you buy a generation old Epic, it holds its value pretty well. If you buy brand new Epic, as soon as that new generation comes out, it drops pretty significantly.
Am I lagging? I feel like I'm lagging
A little bit, yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I have nothing going on right now. That's annoying. So what was the topic you wanted to transition into?
Oh, so one of the things, so the Flux Fork happened today.
We're still talking about Flux?
No. Hang on a second. People forget it's an AI platform. They need GPUs to run AI. So here was the key thing that again, I tuned in. I wanted to see what they were talking about. I wanted to see if the fork was going to fall on its face. It did not. It went very smoothly. I wanted to see what my node revenue was going to change to. So anyway, so I did watch it, and I was pleasantly surprised at one of the subjects that came out, and that was they have built I don't remember exactly what they called it, but basically it was like a training ground for somebody who wants to roll out a job on an AI platform. Like, how do you use all of these tools? And they've built this, and I'm like, that's what nobody else has done, at least not done well. And so yeah, you have people that are techie that know how to do this stuff, but we need more of the normies to basically say, hey, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, and actually roll out running inference or whatever else on these other platforms. So for me, that was what I was like, that's cool. And that could be, I don't want to say game changer, because that's putting it like way more than it was, I guess, but I think it could really, really help them garner more adoption where others may have struggled with it.
So I think that's the future of like our tech tubing channels, right? Like our mining channels is like home rentals. Like, how can you make 1 or 2 rentals at home or scale up, like kind of cover all of it?
Well, again, you're talking about, it sounds like you're talking about the actual infrastructure side. There's 2 sides of it. It's the customers who are actually going to rent your GPUs.
Sure, that too.
And those are the ones that we need to garner more of those customers. There are people out there that don't know what they don't know. And they're like, yeah, I got this problem, but I really don't know what to do with it. And this type, those types of people that don't realize what they're missing. I'll give you a great example. So have you ever heard of Perplexity Comet?
No.
Game changing. So I watched this guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but anyway, he is so psyched about the AI economy. He's like,
really?
Look, oh yeah. He's like, look, people can start businesses and, build things with AI. Don't have to be coders, but they can, if they have an idea, they can build it. So anyway, so he's gone over a bunch of tools. So anyway, Perplexity Comet is an AI browser. So when you do a search, it doesn't give you a search. It just gives you an answer. It's different than like a Claude or a ChatGPT, because it also is a browser. So you can just type in a browser address and it'll give you that too. So it's kind of an all-in-one type of thing. I have just dabbled in it so far. I have not really used it a lot yet, but it was pretty interesting. The other thing I found out was, obviously ChatGPT, everybody knows. Claude is killing it, at least with what I'm doing. Like when I was troubleshooting my server, ChatGPT sent me down the wrong rabbit holes a few times. It even did it when we were trying to fix our dryer. It hallucinated like crazy. With my server, it did not. Or Claude didn't. And so I don't know. I think Claude right now is way better than ChatGPT in my opinion. Plus, they really screwed up ChatGPT 5. It is just so syrupy sweet. It's kind of painful.
Man, I'm a boomer in terms of AI, dude. When I have a problem, there's always an obscure Reddit comment or Reddit post that has my answer. Like,
yeah, it does. And guess what? All the AIs, you can look to see what they're searching.
Yeah.
And they're searching it.
That's fair.
I'm telling you, they find the most obscure thing. I'll tell you what. Think about a question you had that had an obscure answer and ask Claude and see if it comes up with the same answer.
I'll mess around with that. All right.
Check it out. It is, I found it to be pretty amazing. And the real key thing about it is it doesn't just give you an answer. It like leads you on to like the next step. And trust me, if you start like trying to solve a problem with it, you'll know what I mean. It like literally leads you on to the next step. And you may cut in going, yeah, because obviously we all have our own brains. We will not necessarily think exactly like they do. Or it does, I should say, not they, it.
No, I got it.
And then you basically go in and say, well, I was kind of thinking this. And they're like, oh, that's a great way of thinking. Yeah, you're not wrong. This is why I'm thinking this way is more likely than this way, you know, those types of things. So it try Claude. I've been super impressed with it. I am probably going to cancel my ChatGPT membership and just go with Claude instead.
So have you ever thought about reaching out to like Jeff Key and trying to see what's going on with Flux, like digging into it?
Yes, and he's pretty tight-lipped, which as he should be.
Yeah,
he's pretty tight-lipped.
I haven't seen him since I saw him 2 years ago at CES. I kept in contact with him because, like, you know, Flux had all that, like the mining soft, like the next Hive OS, all that crap, and then you know what happened with that. So
do you know his real name?
Yeah, I'm just not saying it here.
And that's fine. Look him up on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say any more than that. Just look him up on LinkedIn.
Okay. I mean, he's pretty candid. Like when I had conversations with him,
yeah, he is.
He's pretty candid about like stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely is.
I don't know. I mean, if it's another more rental platforms are good, right? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the more the merrier. It's rising tides raises all ships type of thing. It's just, you know, what makes you better than the next guy?
So all right,
kind of thing.
So I'm going to ask you a semi-controversial question. I'm curious your answer. You think we'll see another GPU shortage one day?
Yes, but not for the reasons that we had the last time.
Yeah.
It's not because they can't make them fast enough. It's because they won't make the ones that consumers need as many as they want to make of the other kind. So
you think it'll be like,
I think they're going to dedicate more and more capacity to AI type of workload GPUs.
Would you ever?
It's not a zero-sum game. You know, you only can make so many.
Well, would you ever end up getting like the A6000s? Like, would you ever get to a point where it made more sense for you to buy the actual AI, not like the $300,000 ones? I'm talking like the $10,000 to $15,000 ones.
The RTX 6000 Pro is what you're talking about.
Yeah, instead of like a 5090.
I've been tempted. The problem is who's going to buy it? When you're done with it, who's going to buy it?
But you won't be done with it forever. Like that thing will you'll be able to have that thing. You'll literally be able to run that thing into the ground.
Unless, remember that none of this is guaranteed. That's the bottom line. None of it's guaranteed. So think about what China came out with. That was it 8-9 months ago.
DeepSeek
inference model.
Yeah.
That required much less memory.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't DeepSeek. Yeah, DeepSeek.
That was where we had if you remember all the GPUs going up, it wasn't just because of the 50 series.
Right.
People were.
So, is there going to be some other breakthrough? And I don't know if that was necessarily the breakthrough, but it was interesting and people were doing some comparisons and it was definitely faster, but it's not always about faster. It's also about quality of result. You know, are you getting the right answers and that type of thing? You know, that was what got me about all of these. Like, oh my God, look at how much faster this is. Look at how many tokens it does per second. I'm like, great, it does that many tokens a second. I can do a shit ton of tokens if I just take one of the existing models and use a smaller model. Yeah, I can get a great number of tokens too. But it's not about just that. It's about the quality of the result. Are you going to get hallucinations? Are you going to get the quality of the output that you get with a bigger model? And I never saw a definitive test on that.
So moving back to the hardware, right? Is there ever a planet where you sell your 4090 rig and you turn it into a single 6000 Pro?
I'll never say never.
No, but like you save. So like what I'm trying to say, right, is I know resale matters, right? But what if you don't have to build a massive shed because you went hyper? Because the difference you have on the consumer, like when we leave the consumer side, right? Because I got into this with miners. I was like CMP, 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 and they're like resale, 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 and I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. And was I right? Probably right and wrong at the same time, if that makes sense. But like, if you can go hyper dense like you want to do, you could cool it in your basement, and you don't have to spend that money on infrastructure. You can spend it on cards instead.
You're right. Let me see what it's going for now as far as how much it's making. I haven't looked in a while.
Swamp 7 just said, now you know more than me, and I don't know anything about this. I'll be the first one to say I'm not an expert. I'm just a dude that wanted to stream with you.
Okay, hold on a second. First of all, Swamp 7 has, unless he wants to volunteer here, I will just say a unique setup. I don't believe they're making $35 a day through Vast, and I don't think that's what he's saying.
Okay.
But let me pull up the 6,000. I've got 500.farm that has the results here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Pro 6000 workstation. And they are currently making, oh, that's unverified. Let me switch to verified. Verified is making about 70 cents an hour.
Okay, so how much? What does a verified 4090 make?
Hang on, let me switch over to that. And I'm just taking average price. So the average price actually was, the median price of rented was 68.6 cents.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of rounding it to 70, just kind of for round numbers. So let me look at the 40. You said 4090?
Yeah.
4090 currently median price is making 25.5 cents.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're making less than 3 times the amount. So
well, how much is an what is an
A6000 or RTX 6000 Pro? I think you might be able to get one for like 7,500. I thought they might have dropped in price. I don't know if they are. But originally they were supposed to be 9,000.
I think I have a contact where I think I can get one for 7. Actually, I just thought someone reached out to me a while ago. So that's that's basically 3.5 to 1.
No, it's not 3. It's less than 3 to 1. Less than 3 to 1. 75 cents would be.
No. I'm talking like you have to sell 3 4090s to get one of those. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, about a little bit more than that. You'd have to still chip in a little bit extra money, but yeah.
But how much power does one use versus?
That's a good point. They're also at 600 watts.
So you're going from 1800 watts to 600.
Well, if 4090s are 450 watts.
Oh,
yeah, so you're looking at 1350 to 1800. So you're still using more, but obviously, well, for one, you're going from 1350 down to 600. So yeah.
I mean, so all I'm gonna say is I know you're talking about infrastructure, but like if it was me, I would probably consider going the A6000 route and not getting infrastructure.
Stop saying A6000. It's 6,000 Pro.
I don't know why I'm thinking A6000.
That's fine. I'm just like, those aren't bad cards either, actually. But yeah. But
you know what I'm saying.
Second TL, I think second TL had 85,000 though.
No, but like you know what I'm saying though. Like if you went that route.
I'm trying to see. So 0.7 times 24.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's still only $16.8 a day per RTX 6000 Pro.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the infrastructure. I don't know, just the power, the infrastructure savings. Because like, so somebody, they're this host company that they still host, but they told me something and it stuck with me. Right? They said never ever pay for infrastructure if you don't have to.
So hang on a second. So Jackson Digital said I picked up two 5090s and a Boss CPU for rentals. What CPU? He picked up a 7960X. Now, interestingly enough, I just picked up the 9960X. That's the one I just got. And I do want to put two 5090s on this. And he says he's been $30 to $16.
Okay, $30 to $16 days. Like some days are 30, some days are 16.
Oh, okay, got it.
Days. Yeah. So you could get. I actually asked to review one of those because I wanted to do it for gaming, and they're like, "It's not a good gamer." I'm like,
no, it's not a good gaming. Actually, somebody just did. So these 9960Xs have been out, but for whatever reason, there was a.
They didn't sample them. They didn't sample them to accept anybody except the biggest creators.
Right. Well, they just all came out with their videos, so there's all this information about them. I bought it just before those videos actually came out, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
I'm hoping the AI channel. I might rename mining channel to AI because I have contacts on that side for AMD, and I'm hoping I can like leverage it into samples for that. So, because like you should be doing that, dude. I gotta send you my contacts. You need to do that stuff.
I do.
You need to come with me to Vegas, man.
I know. I'm certainly seriously thinking about going to Vegas.
You need to go.
I really need to go. I know. There's other personal things I got going on, so I'm kind of like,
it's not that.
I got to figure it out. You got to remember, I'm not exactly super mobile, so standing for 12 hours a day, that's what I get worried about.
Well, no, what you'd have to do is you'd have to pick and choose, and then you just like go back and recharge or film content or do content and release it or something like that.
Yeah.
Some kind of.
I mean, it's still valuable. I mean, I've done shows before with the bad hip, so it's not. I've done it. It's not impossible, and it's not. I just got to make sure I'm taking ibuprofen consistently, and so anyway, there's just been a lot of, and it just actually was interesting. Like today, I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, we're driving through Chicago, and I see all these people walking around, and I'm like, that looks great. I would love to be able just to like not even think about it and just walk.
Yeah,
and it's just not that way, and I need to go see a doctor. I know I keep saying that. You guys are probably like, I'm so sick of hearing about this damn hip. I just need to go. I'm chicken. I don't want surgery, and I know that's what they're going to tell me, that I need to get a hip replacement. I know because
my father-in-law is getting one, his other hip replaced. And he's not happy. Like he's retired and he's living his best life. The dude just golfs. He literally golfs and goes to football games. That's all he does. Mm-hmm. And he's like pissed because he said hip replacements are hard. He got one. So
they're not that bad actually. They've made them so it's like almost like it's outpatient at this point. Literally outpatient, where they basically do a slit and they pull the bone out of the socket. They pull the bone out of the incision that they make. They cut off the end. They install a new ball, and then they kind of shove that back into your leg, and then they go in and basically fix up the socket and then put a new socket in there, fuse it in, and then they just put it all back together, and you're done. They don't even like affect much in the way of ligaments and tendons and all that. It's like you're up walking within a couple hours after the surgery.
So I have when I see blood, I basically faint. So I'm all terrible with all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to transition real quick that you should look up the Gigabyte. Jackson Digital brought it up, and I actually saw it at CES. You should look up the AI top stuff from Gigabyte. You can put 4 5090s in a case, like a regular PC case. They're like blower 5090s. Well, they're not. Technically, they're not blowers because NVIDIA doesn't let you have blower 5090s, but I think they were 40. They were blower 4090s. Sorry, they were not 5090s. But you can get blower 5090s if you know where to look.
Yeah, no, I know. And there's actually like I said, that one chassis case that Panda has.
The Octo. I was gonna ask you, do you like the Octo servers? Would you get one of those?
My problem with the Octa servers is the number that's in them. The key number to get to is 8. That's the number.
PCIe
And
lanes
none
or
of them,
the
it's either
GPUs?
6 or 10
Oh,
is
well, why
what
can't
they
you buy a
have.
10? Why can't you buy a 10 and just fill it up with 8?
Well, and the other part of it is that the 10 is for 2-slot cards. So I want to be able to resell the hardware. So
Founders
I don't
resell
want to
better
be
than anything.
What was that?
Founders traditionally so look,
Yeah.
there's some hardware though that you're just gonna have to take an L on by the time it makes you money. Like, how many people here have taken an L on server cases? I mean, I haven't, but most of you probably have.
I haven't, but I mean,
Well, like, have you
obviously-
sold them? Have you sold your server cases?
Well, no, I haven't sold my Octo.
So you took an
miners.
L on them.
Well, I mean, in a sense, I mean, they paid themselves off.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is I actually sold all of my server cases.
Well, good for you.
No, but you're missing. It's partially I like tooting my own horn on that. But what I'm trying to say is you have to accept that some are gonna take L's, right? So like,
Yeah, but I don't want my GPUs, the most expensive thing I have, to take an L.
no,
And
but
that's
if you
where I
get
would
all
worry about.
founders-
Like if for instance, like I know some guys have ordered their Octo servers with 2-slot 4090s so that it can fit 12 instead of only fitting 6. That's great. Happy for you. But try to resell those after the market.
you could resell them now for $2,000.
The ones that are blower style.
Yeah, people pay $2,000 for those right now. AI people. Who do you think pays $2,000 for a 4090? No gamer pay. So I do use market tracking, and being on the gaming side and on this side, even though this side I know a tenth of what you know. No gamer buys a 4090. Gamer, you can buy 5090s. You pay $2,300 for a 5090. Who pays $2,000 for a 4090? Yet 4090s sell like that. You know why?
Yeah.
So why
So-
can't you just?
Actually, you brought up another good point. So I've been working with Veteran on getting some cables so I can power an additional 2 GPUs out of my Octo server. So before I actually do that, I might turn that into a 5090 rig.
Plus, like 5090 founders are out there. 5090 founders are 2-slot, but they would do
Yeah,
awful on
but okay,
server
we've
case.
already been over that.
Yeah,
That's
but-
really
but
hard to
to be-
get.
To be fair, looking at the 5090 right now, so I remember when I put, you remember those stupid PCSP octo miners?
Yes.
So when you put 3070 super founders in them, they would actually get too hot because there was nowhere for the air to go because of the way they're set up. And I heard, this is just hearsay, that NVIDIA purposely designed the 5090 Founders Edition to suck in server cases.
Actually, Swamp 7 said blower cards are worth more than normal 3-slot cards.
Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
They
think
also cost more though too.
I think you should be looking at like, I don't know. I would be looking at the 6000s maybe, if we're being honest, for density.
I am definitely thinking about it.
'Cause,
Definitely,
like-
because I think about it, like it's like $3,600, or at least it was, for that GPU case, the server case.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. So if I can get just a few of the Pro 6000s, I don't know. Like I said, I am thinking about it with this new build. Was thinking about making that like at least 2 RTX 6000 or RTX Pro 6000s, but possibly even making it 3. The only thing is that the third slot is PCIe 4 instead of PCIe 5.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the fact that you won't have to put out the capital. Because, like, so here's the thing, right? You spend 20, 25, who knows how much a shed costs now, like fully electric, all that infrastructure.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You have it, but like, I don't think I'm ever going to sell this house. But like, if I was ever going to sell this house, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, I have 400 amps of power. Like, that's not a selling point for my house,
Right.
right? Like, the shed could be like, I have a livable shed now. That could be a selling point, but like, it's
Right.
not like it's going to increase the value of my house for what I paid on it. And like
Right.
this shed remodel, Max, this shed remodel is going to cost me like $4,000.
I believe it.
So like, That's not nothing. Now, for me, it's worth it because it's for my mental. It's a lot of reasons why it's worth it. But like, if you can keep in your basement and just go super dense, like, what if you had 3 server cases or 2 server cases of 6,000s? That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier to manage because you know as well as I do. I had 20 rigs at one point.
But there's an advantage. Hang on a second. There's an advantage to having a variety of GPUs because those GPUs are all rented out by different types of people.
Sure.
If one segment of the market like goes slow and you only have one type of GPU, you could seriously be hurting for rentals. So I like having the variety.
But you can still have the variety when you're so dense. Like, you could still have variety.
I hear what you're saying. Trust me, I have thought about it. I definitely have thought about it.
No, look, maybe what I'm doing.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
But maybe I'm taking a crypto miner's perspective and I'm moving it into rentals perspective.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was, I know Panda talked about that a long time ago. He was like, yeah, it's, I'm going more for density, and so he went with higher end cards.
But at the same point, the principles of scaling in crypto mining and AI rentals are exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same. Like, and I would say that for us, if we let ourselves fall into the same trap that we did with mining, with rentals, then we're dumb. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think the smartest people are going to be the ones that know when to stop expanding.
Yes, except you're assuming that there is going to be a time to stop expanding. This is not ETH.
You're
not ETH.
You're right. Well, but you know what happens if it's not ETH? The big guys get in it. So instead of Bitcoin farms, HUD 8 sells all. Maybe the mining industry collapses. I don't think Bitcoin will ever collapse, right? But maybe the smaller end farms, because Bitcoin,
some of them already. But see, the thing is, if you look at not the past mining disrupt, but the one before that, a lot of the seminars were all on turning your mining farms into data centers, HPCs, high performance compute. And how many of those do we really have? We have some. So it has not been a widespread adoption of this.
My real job, right? Like my real job, I do logistics, right? I don't want to get into details, but I do AI stuff now. We're pivoting 100% into AI, like shipping the UPC farm, like the UPC sheds. That's what we do, and like the demand is insane. So I'm telling you that those mining farms might not be doing it, but everybody else does. So at what point do we just get priced out? Or is it like ETH where you can coexist with ASICs because it's so much demand?
I truly believe so. The difference is yes, the big boys are definitely going to get in it. They definitely are, but they're going to charge more. They're definitely going to charge more than your homes. So you're still going to have colleges, researchers.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's always going to be demand for lower cost. And so that's where we slot in. And the more that they grow the big stuff, the more demand we're going to have for the small stuff.
That's fair. That's a good way to look at it.
So I really don't think it's going to go away. The only time, is there circumstances where it could go away? Yes, there are circumstances where it could go away. I don't foresee them at this point.
Sure.
That's in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with that. They're like, oh, all these big guys are going to take over the entire business. I just don't think so.
Well, I mean, to be fair, right? We witnessed the biggest collapse in crypto and none of us really got that hurt, right? Like, did you lose your face? I mean, I lost.
No.
Like overall, I'm positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I positive considering time? Yeah, it's another discussion, but I learned a lot. I got into this, I got into that. Like, I met people. I enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
So like if we survived the biggest crash that we all saw coming, like how many people did we scream at?
But yeah, most people saw it coming.
No. I mean, like you and I,
yeah,
we knew the merge was coming.
Yeah.
Right? Like
some people were in denial, but yeah.
Yeah, but were you? I wasn't. Now,
I was not.
I thought we were going to get 3 or 4 months more. I thought we were gonna get till September or October.
We did get
So-
to September.
Or no. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna get to the end of the year. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was gonna be. I thought, and that would have been big for me. But I thought we were gonna get to the end of the
I
year.
didn't think we would get all the way to the end of the year, but I certainly was hedging my bets when I was talking to people about it. I said, look, this is 90% of the way there, unless they have something like a hiccup. This is happening in September. It's absolutely happening in September.
See,
I have been
thought
watching
they were gonna
this.
have a hiccup.
You have to remember, back in November of 2020, I was laid off, and obviously I was still looking for a job, but I had a hobby, and my hobby was like learning about Ethereum and being on all their calls and really learning about what. I tell you what, the one thing that drove me nuts about Ethereum was every time there was a disagreement, somebody would chime in with their opinion and say at the end, but it's a hill I'm not willing to die on. Like, what kind of like mayonnaise, like, just put yourself out there.
Oh,
Take a stand.
I'm the most hated person in my company because I got on a hill and I went and I almost flipped half the company over its head. They're like, "You willing to stake your career on it?" And I told the person to go fuck themselves in a business meeting. I said, "Fuck you." I said it, and everybody's like, "What?" I said, "Go fuck yourself." I said, "Fire me or do this," and they did, and they did it. Point is, I'm with you. Like, if you really believe in it that much, go all in. Go all in or shut the
Trust
fuck
me,
up.
you talked about the fact that you're in logistics and your company is starting to adopt AI. Company I work for
Go all in or shut the fuck up.
is not, and I'm trying to get them to see.
Oh, it's there.
It's just small things. Just small things. Very easy, just automation stuff. Like I'll give you an example. Every day we have to fill out a spreadsheet that comes from data. Why can't that spreadsheet be automatically filled in? Grabbing the data from the different sources.
My company, bro, we use fax machines still. My company
God.
is so. I'm the IT guy. That should scare the shit out of you. I'm one of 2 IT guys in the company. Like, I mean, I know a lot, but I don't know. For most of these people,
Well,
in
you
this
don't know
chat more
Linux.
than
You
me.
don't know shit.
Most of the people in this chat know more than me. No, it's funny. I know Linux, and I'm not afraid of Linux. Like, I'm not afraid of it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I got this AI farm spun back up, I don't know why I went Windows. I think I did it for salad because I was like, whatever, I can do this in 10 seconds, and
Yeah,
I just
it's
did it.
definitely easy.
Like it took me to get this whole rig from mothballs. Like, this shit hasn't been turned on for probably almost a year, right? It took me on and off half a day to get 4 rigs. Like, while watching my kids on and off, right? From mothballed, trying to use hardware that I knew probably wasn't going to work, spent most of the time, to go in. So it was there, right? Like, I could spin up Linux, and I can set up a Linux distro in 10 minutes. I mean,
it's actually, in my opinion, it's faster to install, way faster to install than
yeah. And you can bork Windows. Don't kid yourself. You can bork Windows. I was talking to someone on Twitter about it. You can fuck up Windows easier than you can fuck up Linux.
Yes.
Like,
oh, sorry. Let me. I got to share this with you. So, where was this? I'm trying to remember where I was doing this. I'm trying to remember which machine I was doing this on. Anyway, one of my VMs. It must have been the. Is it the server? No, it wasn't. It was the HGPU rig. Right. I remember now. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second.
you're good.
So I went in and just did, sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Well, it went through the upgrade and it's like, no, you don't have any room. What do you mean I don't have any room? I got a 50 gig partition for this. There's no way that this should take greater than 50 gig. So I'm like going through it. I end up using Claude to help me out. Anyway, long story short, the var/cache directory was 25 gig. Yeah, really strange. Don't know why. And they're just like, delete it. You don't need it. So I deleted it and then everything went fine. But up to that point, I was having trouble just getting it to do anything at that point. I was just like, oh shit. So it ended up that because the sudo apt upgrade had already gone through, and where it ran into trouble was the ini tramps, whatever that file is, that it didn't complete that file with the new kernel.
Ooh.
So that file was basically either non-existent or corrupted. So I had to basically do a few commands to basically get that file where it needed to be. And the way I was able to get it to boot up was there's like an advanced feature, and you can get it to boot up to a previous kernel that you have installed. So don't always delete all your kernels. I had like 4 in there. I didn't need 4. I just needed one earlier one. So I went to the one earlier one, and that's how I was able to get it boot up, because that one I didn't corrupt anything there.
And you can't do that with Windows. You can't do any of that with Windows.
No, you can't. But anyway, so my point is that sometimes, yeah, Linux can be a little quirky. That was certainly a scary point, because I'm like, I do not want to lose my verification on my 8 by 4090 rig.
Oh.
I'm like, because that's money down the toilet.
Yeah.
If I don't.
No,
but anyway,
no, that would suck. No, I don't know. Like you definitely like, so like talking to you tonight is definitely kind of like expanded my horizon. Now I think I would be very like I think I'm gonna mess around with this more and learn about it more and use the hardware I have first. Now I'm in a unique position, as I've already said, but I still think that I don't want to go down another mining rabbit hole. Like I don't have the time. I'm not, but I still want to learn about it. And I still think it could be, I think it'll save my channel, like my mining channel.
So I will say one thing, because I realize that any type of business owner it runs into this. It's like, do I spend time generating leads by doing more videos and really focusing on the YouTube side of things and the content side of things, or do I focus on the business? And for me, I focus on the building, the maintenance, making sure everything's updated, making sure the network's running good, all of those things. And trust me, shit happens, and you're just like, I got to fix this every week. Something. There's always something.
I don't want to do that in mass, right? Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like those mining days, right? Like, I don't want to do that shit.
See, I don't mind it. The problem is that, does it affect my ability to make content? Yeah, it does.
Well,
definitely
so
does.
For me, like doing the other, I have 2 YouTube channels, remember? And my tech channel legitimately has a path to make part-time money, like part-time income. I'll never be full-time. I'll never be able to do it. I don't want to, but I can make legitimately like part-time income money. And like,
that's where I'm at with this. This is small part-time income. I mean, it is almost full-time income, depending on what you want to call full-time.
Yeah. Well, I'm not here to talk about numbers. I'm here.
I know. I'm just saying that
situations.
Right. I'm just saying that I look at this as part-time income, and I do want to build this because I want to be able to retire someday. I could see this going 10, 15 years out and still being able to continue to do this. So I view this as kind of part of either it helps me make more money now where I can sock more away.
Yeah.
Or hopefully when I get to retirement, I'm still able to do this, and I have that as supplemental income while I'm retired. So
that's a good call. I don't know. Like, I definitely think that there's a lot of potential. And if we're being honest, I kept one mining rig to do content, right? I'm debating if I want to dump it now, like, but I may just keep it, because like I don't know. Like, is there like, do you think crypto mining at home is dead majority? Like, you think it's dead?
It's certainly dead right now. Is it dead permanently? Who knows? If you got to remember, so you go back to 2019 when I started.
It wasn't this bad.
ETH mining wasn't that big,
but it wasn't this bad.
It wasn't this bad, but it was bad.
People are missing the bear market. People are missing the post ETH days. The post ETH days were not as bad as anybody said, and they're so much better than this, right? Like,
True, but if, like I said, 2019, I mean, I was mining Zcoin, which was now Firo. That was the most profitable coin, and you're making cents a day.
That's what we're making with the AI rentals. Cents.
No, you're making cents per hour. You're making dollars a day.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So it's way different. So yeah, back then you're like, oh yeah, this is profitable, this isn't profitable. Similar to where we are now, except yeah, there's a lot less that's profitable right now. But again, it was marginal. And then where did we end up? About a year later, ETH just like freaking took off with fees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was like game changing. Could that happen again?
You lost. My camera died.
I see that.
Yeah, it's all right. Probably. In like 10
at least it's not a bad picture of you.
Yeah, we'll keep it there for now. Go ahead.
That's fine. But the key thing is that, you know, could that happen again? It could. I mean, do I have any idea what coin it's out there right now that could do that? No, I don't.
So if you go on hashrate.no right now, I just loaded the default, right? I don't even know what their default power rate is. I haven't been on this site in forever.
It's up in the upper right hand. Usually it's 10 cents.
All right, so let's just say it's 10 cents. Like a 170HX is making 13 cents profit a day.
Yep.
Like a 4090 is losing 2 cents a day. Yep. So like I mean, I sold my hardware and I told people I think it's dead. I think it's dying, but like people are still, I don't know, man. I just don't.
I wouldn't be, well, here's the thing. I would not be saving it thinking it might take off again someday.
Well, no. So I have one rig, right? And the thought in my head was I could still film mining content. I could be like, that was the only thing, like, but I don't even know if I want to fuck with it. I might just sell it and be done with it. Like I could literally take that money for that rig and buy a 5090. I feel like it's more useful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, do I even want to make mining content anymore? Like, do I want to rebrand the channel to again?
Well, that's exactly what I did because I am not doing mining content.
But I still like home
intentional mining content. Obviously, like I said, with what Salad is, the clients that Salad has are for mining a new crypto. That's what it is.
Well, so they told me that there was a lot of medical stuff too, like medical.
It might be the application of that crypto, but my understanding is that was the main part of it.
But I don't know, like also, I still think home ASICs, like to heat your home in the winter, I think they're still viable. Like you buy them as heaters, and they're heater, like for me, right? So like, I would not tell anyone to go buy a Gold Shell piece of shit. Gold Shell is mad at me, by the way, because I told them their miners sucked. And
I'm not the only one that said that.
I sent out I was the first one to send out a hate tweet against it. But anyway, right? Like you could buy like a Doge miner or like a Avalon Q or something like that, right? You pay like $1,000, but it doesn't matter if it makes you less because it's heating your home for free. Like you buy it as a heater, and you turn it on every year, and even if it's losing like 20 cents a day, if you never sell that Bitcoin, it'll eventually make you money, and it heated your home. Like you were losing money heating your home anyway, right?
Right. Yeah, trust me, I am heating my home with it. And actually kind of funny. So one of the things I just bought for the basement, because I do have more heat in there than I had last winter. So I also still need to make sure that I don't like overheat the basement either. So I still got to make sure I'm moving heat out. And so I have a two fans that basically add them together, and it's 4,000 CFM. And then I have windows in two other fans in two other windows with screens. So it's just like box fans in front of screens pulling cold air in. But I don't have anything that controls the intake fans. I only have things that control the outtake fans, and the outtake fans are all manual. I can't remotely configure them. Bring in AC Infinity. AC Infinity has a power strip with thermostat and like temperature gauges that you can plug in up to 4. And so it comes with one. I bought another one, so I'm going to move one towards like the intake side, and then put another one at the outtake. And I am going to program each one of these outlets at a different temperature to turn on and off.
Can you hook up can you like set up a fan where you hook it up into your AC, your air conditioning, and blow the heat through the vents in the winter?
I don't have that, no.
Okay. Because like
I do have the furnace is right next to the rack pretty much. It's basically through a doorway. So it does suck in, like you can go in the furnace room when everything's rented and you're like, oh, it's pretty toasty in here.
Ah. Okay. All right. I don't know, just food for thought, like heating your house with it. Like, but anyway, what I'm getting at is like I feel like GPU mining is dead unless you're a very unique situation. And I almost think that like I might just rebrand my channel again, and I might only cover home ASICs and rentals. You know?
See, this is why I took some advice from somebody. And they're like, don't pigeonhole yourself because you may eventually want to pivot to something else. That's why when I knew I was pivoting to more AI rentals from mining content, I just said, just take the crypto and mining off and just make it max voltage, period. That way, if somewhere along the line, I decide I don't want to, do this and I want to do something completely different.
Yeah, but you have to reset. The problem is you have to reset the algo. Like when I was doing both
it's possible,
and mining content, I was fighting myself. I'd lose 20 subs, I'd gain 20 subs. And then like I want advertisers and I want to like I have a lot of advertisers on all my videos now. And like I had to make a new channel. They didn't want anything to do with it.
No, I get it. There's unique situations like that where that can be the case. But if you want to reset your
mining channel,
whatever your channel is, and you want to reset it as far as what you're going to talk about, somebody just did a video about this. Basically, you don't put out any content for 30 days at zero. No, I have sponsors, no nothing. Yeah. Then on the same day, you release 3 videos because they will all push viewers to each one of them because YouTube has a recency bias.
Yeah,
then start building from there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like I don't know. Like I don't. I think I'm gonna. I honestly think I'm gonna transition out of the GPU mining. Right. Like I think it's it. I think.
Yeah, I would just say just change it to Crute, man.
No, I mean I'm gonna probably go. I'm gonna figure out some kind of name, but I'm gonna pigeonhole myself on this side into like AI and I still want to do mining, but I don't want it to be full. Like I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna sell that GPU rig. I think this killed it. I don't even think it's worth having it for content anymore, for being honest.
Yeah, I like I said, I still got a few GPUs I got to sell. I have 3060, a couple 3060s that aren't doing anything right now, and I need to get those sold.
They're not worth renting. Not worth renting those.
I don't have, and not really. I'm trying not to expand with like super low priced cards. I mean, they're making like 5 cents an hour.
So why do you have 50
better than mining then? What was that?
Why do you have 5060 Ti's then?
Because they make a lot more than that, and they were cheap. I mean, they were like $450 basically.
Yeah.
And they're making over 10 cents an hour. And I know other people that are making more than that with them, but that's what I'm making is about over 10 cents an hour. So you're doubling your density, plus it's the same power outage or same power that so you basically can power it with the same stuff. So yeah, at some point I've got one 3060 rig that's on fast. It's a dual 3060 rig. It makes about 11 cents an hour, but with two 3060s. So it's not horrible. It's certainly profitable.
Make it more than my 4070 Ti super rig.
Yeah.
So and it costs you less.
Yep.
I don't know. Food for thought. But I think I'm gonna go. It's 1 o'clock here. I think I gotta call it. That was always my plan.
Hey, I was going to respond to Swamp 7 real quick. Yes, I was aware of that. Actually, AC Infinity works with Home Assistant. I appreciate you mentioning that. Yeah, that was one of the things that when I saw it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they work with Home Assistant, and they do. So I will definitely tie that into my Home Assistant at home. That's the other thing I'm I want to do more content with is more home lab stuff too. Just because that's, I mean, what are you doing when you are renting out GPUs? It's a home lab. It's what it is. And having all of these things that home labbers use, VMs or containers. Yeah, I've started spinning them up like guacamole. I freaking love that. Absolutely love it. I go into guacamole. I don't even go into like a command prompt or anything like that to do SSH. I go into my guacamole container and I go to the rig I want to pull up. I click on it and there's my SSH screen already logged in. I'm like, it's a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I have set up like an energy dashboard in Home Assistant. So basically, and it was interesting because I had to program the damn thing because the way that my solar was working was different than what they were thinking. So I had to actually go like, I don't remember exactly how to do it, but basically I had to kind of go like into the code and like program it the way it needed to be, because I had my solar gave it information and my Emporia gave it information. My Emporia was total power used by the house and the solar was total power provided. Well, the way that they had programmed this thing was that it was total power pulled from the network, from the grid, and total power pulled from solar. And that's what it was tying these two things together. Well, in order for me to get the total power that I was pulling from the grid, is I had to take the total power used and subtract out the solar to get that portion of it. And so it was a whole thing. That one actually ChatGPT did help me figure it out.
That's awesome.
About how to do it, but it was quite the ordeal. So I've got it on my phone. I actually have tail scale so I can look at everything remotely. So that's another thing I need to get set up on. So I'm not using remote Chrome remote desktop to get remotely into machines. I want to get tail scale set up so I can do that. Only thing is I got to get IT to agree to let me put tail scale on my laptop at work.
Gotta love IT, man.
But yeah,
they suck.
Yeah, they do suck.
Dude, my wife had an issue. She had to drive 3 hours to her old corporate office when I could fix it because they wouldn't let me touch it. And the IT guy's like, "You probably know more than me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like, I wasn't even mad about it because I knew why, but it was just like,
it's good because the IT people know me now and they know like they can rely on me. So like the one person in IT that was doing the printers, she didn't call the GM, she called me. She's like, "Hey, I need you to do this, this, and this." Not that it was IT related necessarily. She just knows I get shit done.
Yeah.
And then what was really funny was our head of like internal IT, like came out to do some stuff at our site, and I'm just like looking over his shoulder. I'm like, "Yeah, but," and I'm like, "Oh, is that such and such? Oh, that's and I was like, I remember specifically he was having trouble with a link that was working the day before and it wasn't working now. And I'm like, yeah, are you gonna check the other side? This side obviously works, but you never know. Maybe the SFP plus module went bad. And so he was just kind of like, "Oh, you kind of know the lingo." Like, yeah. So what ended up happening was, and I told I said, I'm guessing you probably want to check the other side. So I got him in the other side. Sure enough, the SFP plus actually wasn't even the SFP plus port. It was the actual, because it was a fiber connector. So it's that two piece fiber. It hadn't clicked in. So and it basically faced down. So basically, just gravity overnight had pulled out just far enough that it was making a marginal connection and it was causing all kinds of packet loss. And I pretty much had told him that I'm like, it might be on the other side. You've plugged this thing in and out, which absolutely I'm guessing that's what I would do. I said, but you probably want to try that on the other side. I have a feeling. Just have a feeling. And he literally told me, he's like, "You should work in my department." And I'm like, "Hey, let's talk." And but I did talk to him, and he's kind of like, yeah, I really would want you to have, and he pulls out like the hardest, one of the hardest, from what I've heard, one of the hardest AWS certifications. It's the networking certification. And it's basically like you should get like 2 other certifications before you get that. So it's like 9 months down the road before I'd even have that certification as best case.
So not worth you doing, basically.
I'm not saying it's not worth me doing. It's just that like I'm not going to go work for him tomorrow, type of thing. Even though I probably could, because I just helped him figure out that problem. So anyway, but yeah, all right. Well, we're well beyond 3 hours at this point.
Yeah, no, you're hitting. Yeah, I'm at my end. My camera dying usually tells me it's time to go.
Yeah, exactly. The one last thing we didn't hit on, I was going to mention, was Goat had a video about Hivemapper and saying this thing's not making anything for him. Hivemapper had a problem with payments last week. So that's the reason. I don't know if anybody's going to get their payments. I'm not saying that. I'm just simply stating that if this may have been a 1 week thing.
Bro, now, I am so anti DPIN that I could go on a tirade forever. That money I lost on Hive, I didn't really lose yet. And technically my Hive things are still making more than GPUs right now. I could technically cash them out, but like, don't get me started on DPIN because I'll go down.
Oh. The only other thing I was going to mention was this, in doing a little bit of research on that, I did find out that by sometime in January, all of the HP, I think they're called HDC, I think. Anyway, the original Hivemappers will basically no longer get paid in honey. They won't get paid anything for doing mapping at that point. They will get paid zilch. They will be done. You can still use it as they can still use it as a dash cam. You put a SSD card, or not an SSD. Put an SD card in SD card. No, memory card, a micro SD. That's what I was looking for. Memory card in there, and so you can still use it as a dash cam, but you will not make any money after January.
So how many people got fucked on those things? Probably a lot.
I have no idea.
But like, I don't know, man. I'm so anti DPIN that I go on I'm over it, dude. Like,
hey, my helium miners are still making money.
Yeah, no, my helium miners are still making cents a day, which is more than GPUs. My helium miners are making like 5 or 6 cents a day. I get it. And
yep.
They'll never turn off. I'll let them on until they die.
I'd forgotten. I hadn't gone into it for quite a while.
Yo, I need to convert the IoT into helium. I haven't.
I hadn't claimed my helium in quite a while. I just realized that. It's probably been a month.
Dude, I haven't gone in it in like 6 to 8 months. I forgot they were running. My buddy helped me set them up, and he's like, "Your helium things are making money," and I'm like, "Oh, that's neat."
Let's see how much helium I made, and when was the last time I did it? Let's see. I guess it hasn't been that long. I've only got like 3/4 of a helium right now.
I don't know, man.
It probably has been less than a month if I've only got that much.
I hate DPIN.
Anyway. But hey, guys. Hey, appreciate everybody that stuck it out. Oh, let's hang on. I got a couple of tags here. Just got my SNMP network working last week. So badass. Interesting. God, SNMP. Do you have any idea how old that protocol is?
I know nothing.
SNMP was around when I was doing data communications. I was data communications specialist in the 80s. That's how long that protocol's been around.
Since my cameras died, I'm literally just packing GPUs while I'm talking to you, because I'm selling a bunch, so I'm just packing them while talking to you. It's great. I'm multitasking.
There you go. Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you very much, Crute, for joining me tonight. It was a blast. Really appreciate it. I never go 3 hours, so this time flew by.
Oh, it was great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Do it again sometime. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks again. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace out.